فصل الستريم.
هاني واقفة وسط البحر، سفينة غدا وما كان هدار بيناتنا المور. حنا في يدي واش غادي نرتاح بيها، بغيت نداوي الجراح. واش الوقت غيدوز واخا خاصني نمشي، نولي شنو انا بغيت. خليني نهديك شوية مني، شجر الزيتون لعبوا جنب الواد ونطيحوا في كازا. في اي مكان واي زمان تلقى ديما معايا ريحة البلاد. هاجي ننساو ونطلعوا الجبال ونباتوا في القصبة. كاملين عندنا حكاية اللي عندها بداية. جيت وحيدة لبلادات الناس، غربة صعيبة وما كاين باس. غنكتب صفاحي جديدة، كاتبان ليا شميشة وسط الظلام. أي حاجة بيها كان حلم ما بقات بعيدة. واخا خاصني نمشي، نولي شنو أنا بغيت. خليني نهديك شوية مني، شجر الزيتون لعبوا جنب الواد ونطيحوا في كازا. في أي مكان وأي زمان تلقى ديما معايا ريحة البلاد. أجي ننساو ونطلعوا الجبال ونباتوا في القصبة. كلنا عندنا حكاية اللي عندها بداية. اللي عندها بداية. كلنا عندنا حكاية اللي عندها بداية.
ابدأ رحلتك اليوم مع جودادي أيا كان ما
On se parle un peu fort, on se regarde de travers. Si je pleure, c'est peut-être à cause de la poussière. Dis-moi si tu le vois aussi, l'incendie dans notre paradis. À trop s'aimer si bien, on ressent plus rien. J'ai le cœur au bord des larmes, j'ai même plus ce qui lui fait mal. Nos rêves n'iront pas plus loin, on ressent plus rien. Je préfère que tu t'en ailles avant que tout ça nous entaille. L'envie reviendra demain. J'aurais pas cru donner ton nom à mes rancœurs avant que tu ne prennes la fuite. On dit qu'on s'aime quand on hésite. Pourquoi mes jours sont sans couleur? Je sens que mon cœur bat trop vite. Quitte-moi et on est quitte. Quitte-moi et on est quitte. Y'a même plus de remords, y'a même plus de colère. Y'a plus de mi amour, tout ça est mis à terre. Dis-moi si tu l'entends aussi, ce silence qui nous assourdit. Je t'ai vu couper nos liens quand t'as lâché mes mains. J'ai le cœur au bord des larmes, j'ai même plus ce qui lui fait mal. Nos rêves n'iront pas plus loin, on ressent plus rien. Je préfère que tu t'en ailles avant que tout ça nous entaille. L'envie reviendra demain. J'aurais pas cru donner ton nom à mes rancœurs avant que tu ne prennes la fuite. On dit qu'on s'aime quand on hésite. Pourquoi mes jours sont sans couleur?
بعد هالأغنية.
يوم راني معاك غدوة تاني متمني يكتب المكتوب ونكون حداك. يا قلبي شوف هواك وين رماني فوق بحر صافي بمواج وداني معاه تبع رياح الحب وعندك احتني وداني وساني وقلي حبيبك ما تنساه. زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. يا زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. قالوا لي خرجتي في ظلام وعليا سولتي في غياب القمر بعيونك ضويتي. قالوا لي عليك نجمة يا نجمة ما بنتي وين كنتي هذا شحال قولي لي علاش هربتي. قالوا لي خرجتي في ظلام وعليا سولتي في غياب القمر بعيونك ضويتي. قالوا لي عليك نجمة يا نجمة ما بنتي وين كنتي هذا شحال قولي لي علاش هربتي. زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. يا زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. حلفت ما نزيد نسال على لي جرني والعين اللي بكات حالة سامحني. علاش يا قلبي هواك غدرني راني مجروح شكون اللي ناويني. يا رياح وانتي نغني اسمعوا من الحبيب ويعرف حوالي. زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. يا زينة ما درتي فينا انا وقلبي حوسنا عليك ما لقينا. يا زينة زينة
زينة
Je veux vivre sans regret. Je ne m'y attendais pas ta demande.
Are you ready boys؟ جاهزون؟
هل تعلم أن الاحتقان يصبح أسوأ عندما تستلقي؟
Family Guy.
في دقيقتين فقط أترفي
فاهم كيف؟ كل ما قعدت وركزت بشغله باكل هوا. تعبت. هذا بس بالمونتاج بعمل لك اياه اقوى من روكي نفسه. انا اظن بس اصدع، هاي مشكلة. لازم 6 ساعات يخلصوا بأسرع وقت. فوسي بوب، هاي الأغنية My brother don't die. Hey.
Lie. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bark. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. Ay, my brothers don't die, we just rusty bark. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. Ay, you ain't got a clue, let's be honest. I had a couple seasons made a forest. I put in the work and take the profit. Looking at my girl like what a goddess. Thank God. Rule number 2, don't make the promise. If you can't keep the deal, then just be honest. I can never die, I'm Chuck Norris. Fuck the government and fuck Boris, yeah. I'm a villain, killing when I'm barring. Brothers in the hood, just like the movie that I'm starring. Servicing my whip, I phone the boss to bring my car in. I could probably take a chick, but I just wouldn't cause she's jarring. Ooh, I got the sauce. Don't know what you for. Catch me up and slowing in my sliders and my shorts. Chick's trying to get my brother flips to share his thoughts. I think he's trying to tell me I should tell her he don't talk, I don't fuck with her. Yeah, I used to hit it, but you're stuck with her. Man, I wouldn't even try my luck with her. Yeah, let's say I'm bougie, way too exclusive. Chilling in Dubai, know I get it all inclusive. Now may I ask if you can find it in your spirit? To leave us all alone and go and mind your fucking business. Looking in the mirror saying my key or the illest. When I'm James Bond trying to live my movie like I'm Idris, so we telling them, look, my brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. So much Vossi, I might open up a Vossi shop. Mommy saying that I need to get some sleep. All this flying overseas is always fucking up my body clock. And all this stress has got me racking up my brain. So tell these little fishes back up off my name. I ain't gotta be a rapper with a chain, cause the rules are kinda different when you're badding up the game. Straight, badding up the game, bad it up again.
Yeah, right it up in, right it up in. when just Fuzzy Bob we just Fuzzy Bob. اوكي هذا زي ما خليني احب البريطاني صراحة خرافي زلمة. ستورمزي يعني he's up there. في عندك ناس زي شو اسمه نسيت شو كان اسمه حتى على الشارع شو اسمه UK جول رابرز سنترال سي بحبه. في واحد ثاني بيعمل افرو بيتس نسيت شو اسمه بحاول اتذكر اسمه. بيرنا بوي هاي الاغنية كثير.
كل يوم ببلش بريحة القهوة.
نسكافيه قهوتكم دايما.
اوكي ديزاير لانه هسه بشغله بعدها يلا. اخباري بوم بوم.
It's Kelpie Vibes.
Pop.
Baby, I love it, I mean, let you go.
Angelina.
You the cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina. I'm a Angelina. Oh me all down. Anytime when I see you for the club or the television, your body. Sure you know no. Baby, you know that I'm in a choco.
Baby, pop, 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 pop. Baby, you know that I'm in a choco. Baby, pop, 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 pop.
Baby, you know that
I'm in a choco.
Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. If you call, I can come deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina. I'm a Angelina.
Oh me
all down. Anytime when I see you for the club or the television, your body. Sure you know no safety when you carry 50 kill somebody. You know I feel a vibe, you feel a vibe, so baby whine it for me. Yeah, and I know you shy, but it's cool when we're making love. On the low, 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 on the low. Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. If you call, I can go deliver. And I go fall in your hand never. So now me you gonna go forever. I'm a cocky no fake letter. Oh my Angelina. Oh my Angelina. Oh no. So when I want to come out, make a signal. Why you want to request on me like I interview? I'm tryna put the ring on your finger too. And they better care. On the low, 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 on the low. Angelina, you the cool in my temperature. I go come deliver. I no go fall in your hand never. So now me you could love forever. I'm a cocky no feeble letter. I'm a Angelina. I'm a Angelina. Jesu. Big Smosa.
احنا فاهم احنا وصلنا. هذا اوكي شلون هاي شيكيرد شغل النون هاي حاسه كئيبه. لا الله يرضى عليك. لا اتش سنترال سي اتش بعرف اتش سنترال سي هو كنت افكر فيه. اسمه اتش عم الدنيا بس كثير بسمع له بصراحه. رابرز بريطاني اشقر فاهم الميكس. عامل 12 حب احس بك عند حسة سواقة حلو الافرو بس لا يا زلمه افرو بيت كثير حلو يزم. هلا بسمع اغنية افرو بيت حلو. ايش كنت اشوف انا اشوف الابلود شو صار فيه. هذا 9 ساعات بده احا. She never cared. مين هذا بغني هالاغنية هاي؟ Desire the Unknown. انت بدك تنيمني صاحبي؟ يلا. She never really cared. She never really cared. She never cared. Oh.
fucking care.
اسف بس صراحة مش قادر اسمعها هسه. مستحيل، هاي جوها مش هسه. انا هسه بدي اشياء هيك ابيت شوي.
I'm a refugee and I came when I grew in the south side of London. It ain't uptown here, but opposite the road you can find me in a dungeon. That's the dungeon where the man a hold fire like Bunsen, where I see a lot of action like Bronson. They don't talk, they just go off assumptions. True stories, yours and theirs, two stories. Concrete jungle ways, never safe. I go to story. I won't ever tell them what you do for me. Way before the glow, the gal to move naughty. Eva got it so you don't die. I'm too tempted to get higher. Too tempted for desire. I'm heating temperatures fire. Too tempted to get higher. Too tempted I'm inside her. I slipped again, but it's mine. Remind me again. Seen her before, but can you remind me again? Selena, Arakuba, remind me again. Should've seen her way that bunda arched up. She might be a freak, hiding the rollies from her, I might be asleep. Clean up, had to do it, she might be a thief. Waking up when nothing's a disaster. She a sweet delight, just like Frutella. I'm involved. If she swell up, then I might tell her I'm involved. Tryna catch a break, how to fight it when you're on a wave. Tempted, said she wanna taste. I tried to tell her no, but what I'm at to say. Tempted, scrutiny, critical the way she wanna move to me. I could never ever be a used to be. In it when it circles where I choose to be. But I'm tempted. When it's all around me, I'm tempted. Didn't need to wear that, I'm tempted. The way she looked me and my soul got me tempted. I'm too tempted to get higher. Too tempted for desire. I'm heating temperatures fire. Too tempted to get higher. Too tempted I'm inside her. I slipped again, but it's mine. Remind me again. Seen her before, but can you remind me again? Selena, Arakuba, remind me again. Should've seen her way that bunda arched up. She might be a freak, hiding the rollies from her, I might be asleep. Clean up, had to do it, she might be a thief. Waking up when nothing's a disaster.
Football is a struggle when you can't breathe well. Otrivin unblocks your nose 6 times faster than pills and helps you breathe better for up to 12 hours. Breathe your best with
وعليكم الصباح عقرباوي. I'm hunting rabbits. والله 50 ساعة يزم ماد ريسبكت لاد بيج مان تينج بومبو كلاب دمبوندا. شو نشغل أغنية؟ بدي أغنية هيك حماسية. خلينا نفكر ايش في. كان في أغنية ببالي ولا أحول عربي. هات نحول عربي. أنا بقولك شو بدي مروان بابلو. وينها؟ بطل العالم. فيش غيرها بعرف أصلا له بطل. هذاك مروان موسى أغباني. مروان موسى هذاك صح؟ مروان موسى.
أنا مستعد أواجه نفسي. واجه
مروان موسى مش مروان بابلو.
يا اقفل الشباك عشان عصافير. رافع رجلي في وش كل حقود. واو مفيش شبهي في بلدك. قارن ورقي بورقك، بلدك المفضلة بنما دنيا وماليش عزيز مرقة. وانا كالماريو جيت اشعلل، جيت اكسرك وجيت اكعبل. قالوا لي ايه الغرض ليه مستعجل؟ ساحب الكاش حماس دفعت البين سبورت. انا رياضي مان لابس الشورت، انا موسيقى انا اللي عازف الكورد. حلقت لها عشان انا اللورد فيري امبورتنت. 2 نوم عايز فيو نضيف، تيجي نيو جيز على طول تاخد روم كيز والتشيز. خدني صورة باخد تور فيه، لما تعوز فيه تخلي بالك انا اقوم بيك. بطل عالم داخل مولا جيب كاب، حصل حالة بيجيب سيرتي كتير واخد بالك. انا مش مشغول بيه واخد بالك.
وما تسقف انا رقص، كل ما تسقف
انا بصت. هتروح تجيب اجلي باش اقسط.
كل ما تعقد عقد انا بسط.
Mann, ich hab dir doch gesagt, wir werden auf Deutsch singen und wir werden mehr auf meinen Journalisten beruhigen. Jetzt vor den Leuten sagen, schlecht aussehe oder was. Seid mal ruhig.
Ey, do re mi fa sol la si do. ده قبل دقيقة ودي قبل دول. ذكاء محدود يا مان أفلاطون. انت رحت في رجلي البنطلون. على كيفك خد هيت يا باشا على عينك. اي ماكارينا اصحابي كازابلانكا اصحابك كذا هيتر. كابتن طلب صغير ابلع ريقك خد بق مية. بطل هايبر ياسطا شكلك كده مش مسيطر.
حبيبي على بالي كتير جميل، بني غامق صافي زي الحرير.
البنت افتكرتني الدايركي اصل تصرفاتي زي الامير. مش عايزة اتمنظر بس ده بصراحة مش منظر. باشا يخشى ان انا اجيبه يتصنفر، باشا يتلم انا اشيله يتكمر. واول ما تسقف انا رقصها، كل ما تعقد انا بسطها. هتروح تجيب اجلي باشا اقسط. كل ما تعقد انا بسطها. كسر الوزة بيبسي حاجز الليستة باسمي. مارومان لسه بتجري مجالك مستحلف لي. راكن التسلا في جهتي. واو حلو اوي جهتي معادي. It's just المعادي.
هذا من جماعتنا، احنا كنا في المعادي.
It's just
جهتي بس معادي just جهتي. اخر تركين اسمع تراك ويجز الحديد ولا الجديد؟ هاي الجديد. كنت بدي اشغله تاعت سامسونج اصلا اسوي اكزام. هات نسمع ويجز نشوف شو عنده. ايش اخر شي نزله ويجز؟ 5 days ago تنكر ولا انا ويجز ولا
سامسونج جالاكسي. انت مبسوط؟ لو ما جاش هيحصل حسك في ايه؟ شوف انت بتعرف تعمل ايه وهو بيعرف يعمل ايه. بعرف اعمل الاتنين مع ان عندي شغل شكلك جاي عايز تلعب على ايه؟ انا بلعب كتير، انا بلعب كتير. انت كل ده بتحمل، انا حاسك بتتأمل. انا الحمد لله سريع. انت عارف انا مين وجاي تسأل اسمي ايه؟ زميلي الشغل ده قديم. عمري ما بعت واحد صاحبي، مش ببيع اشتري مني، مفيش غير اللي بيبيع. انا بغني ما فصلتش، انت بتغني وما وصلتش. شغلة صعبة بالنسبة لك وانت ساكت على حالك. هنغني لك ولا ايه؟ حاسسها ما لقطتش، شرحتك اني ما شرحتش. انت بتكلم اللي دور، انا بلوطها من بعيد. مش تفتح ولا ايه؟ عندي من كله بس تقول نفسك في ايه؟ عندي من كله هو بيعمل ايه بعرف اعمل ايه. بس تقول نفسك في ايه؟ شغل جاي عايز تلعب على ايه؟ عندي من كله هو بيعمل ايه بعرف اعمل ايه. بس تقول نفسك في ايه؟ شغل جاي عايز تلعب على ايه؟ عندي من
خلاص تمك ويجز. نشوف ايش الاغنيه اللي تحكي عنها انت. اخر تركين لويجز بيرقصوا الميت. ايش؟ حلو، في حلوة منك انا ويجز. هاي اخر اغنية نزلها ويجز، هات نسمعها.
تنكر اني جامد ماشي مليونير ازاي؟
مش شغلاني الماديات عشان دي الشكليات، مش ناوي احتك بكله ناس والناس، عامل فيكو كده اقول لي ايه الكلام، كل اخصامي بتسأل جامد عارفة قابض كام، رايح جايب باج راجع جايب باج، مش عايزين ناخد لقطتي مش عايزين نعيش لحظتي، حكاكي مش فنانين بتشوفوا من كاريزمتي، بتقارن ويجز بموزة قارن ويجز ببيجي، دايما بعمل حاجة لنفسي فاتقارن مش عايزين نعيش لحظتي، جايب باج راجع جايب باج، مش عايزين ناخد لقطتي مش عايزين نعيش لحظتي، حكاكي مش فنانين بتشوفوا من كاريزمتي، بتقارن ويجز بموزة قارن ويجز ببيجي، دايما بعمل حاجة لنفسي فارض شخصيتي، هتغنوا امتى طول الوقت بتتكلموا، نزلت واحدة وكان نفسي تتعلموا، اما يشوفوني في الحقيقة بيسترجلوا، ألبومي نازل
شغل. انا بحس راح تحبها كتير. مش فاهم اسم الاغنية هيك هو مش فاهم. تعال نحطها شوف شو يطلع لنا. اعطي من كله انا لما بحب والله I don't understand ايش عم بيصير. نتبع على الستورج نشوف شو صار في الستورج. اول اشي 37 جيجا يا رب يخلص هذا تحميل. لسه بده 7 ساعات. انا لويجز هيك اسمها انا لويجز. انا لا حبيبي وحبيبي لويجز.
Oh my god, who's Mustafa?
شايفين يا عبدو؟
كم مرة بتيجي ساعة ما استنضفتش، حاسس ان ما فيش غير السين بقى كله الراتش، قولوا اللي تقولوا بعد فلوسي ما تعصبتش، لما اقول الناس بينكم الناس ما بتستغربش، رايح فيه شغل على نفسيتي، لابس كل الجولري في اوروبا عشان افريقي، كله شبه بعض حاسس اني في سوق الصيني، لو قلت لك يا زميلي او ماتش هتقولي دونت بيليف مي، كل ده ما قلتش انا، يا بتوع من السنه للسنه مش محتاج اقول لك انا، كلكم كان مستند مستني لي غلطه استنى، ما تزاملنيش تتمنى، الباك جايه لي حبه كله نفسي اديله حبه، شفت انت نزلت بكام؟ انا مش السين ده معاك، جيت على بابي بتسال وما ردتش عباد، دول شخصيه قدامي زايتين بس قدام الناس، مش بيقول غير اسمي كان في حاجه تعبان، برمت اسباني في الفيديو، جيت من فيس تايم شيكو، عاملين رحله سان مارينو، كل البفه يروحوا ويجوا، وتروح فين من غير بنزين، عمره ما غنى وهو كلين، ده سبام ده مش ساوند، انتوا نجوم مش حقيقيين
بس زينة ما بتشتغلش.
Have you heard of Mustafa Mustafa? Name so nice you gotta say it twice.
Oh my god, who's Mustafa?
Who the frick is Mustafa? صراحة من أحلى البيتات اللي سمعتها بحياتي. اوف والله كويس الحكي بار.
الحب اسقنيها جدول لا ماء فيه، عيشة لا حب فيها وقلبي لا ما فيه، اسقنيها جدول لا ماء فيه. عيشة لا حب فيها جدول لا ما
Hi, I'm Mikko. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, YouTuber, and an art teacher. I worked on video games for over a decade, but now I'm a full-time freelancer, making art for film, TV, games, and physical media products. Digital painting in particular is an incredibly fascinating method of creating art. Using software like Procreate, I combine the concepts of traditional artwork with contemporary tools and techniques to develop pieces that cause people to stop and look twice. I find the inspiration for those pieces in the world around me, with a twist. Through real-life references combined with imagination, anybody is able to create artwork that is truly unique. In this Domestika course, I will teach you how to create whimsical digital paintings using Procreate. For the final project, you will illustrate a building of your choice using color, composition, and light. We will start by diving into the software we're using, before learning how to use brushstrokes. Then we will explore light, shadow, and color, and gather inspiration for our artwork. Next, you will plug in with Paint and see my tips for balancing a composition. We'll also discover alpha locks and clipping masks to paint in environment and details of our piece. To wrap things up, I will take you through my steps of editing color, presenting your artwork, and finding your unique style. By the end of the course, you will be able to turn inspiration from your daily life into captivating digital illustrations. Join me and let's turn your magical ideas into art that everyone can see.
That's correct. Cash. Risk it. Risk it all. Risk it all. For $3.29. What color was my sweatshirt?
ظهري انكسر. ما كنتش قاعد كنت
فكرت نطرني وكنا بآخر خريف لقيتك ناسيني وشو بتوقع بعد سنين بالي ويلي سهراني بالي ويلي سبت سكرني ومحيط ماضينا بالي ويلي كيف هان عليك تنسيك انت بتسكرني لقيتك ناسيني من زمان
حرام عليك، اليانا رهيبة، اليانا يمكن من احسن الارتست اللي في الوطن العربي، يعني اقل ما فيها من الجيل الجديد يعني حرفيا. شغل اير فورس تي اس يونج تي اس، هات نشوفها كوبي.
I'm down on my luck, she's turning a page. I'm falling in love, she's running away.
Swear down, Gozy, you mixed this.
Nigga, did you go right back?
Broke my heart, oh no you didn't. You're one of my many women. Knee got me tunnel vision. Cut on my flat circumcision. Fucked her in the studio session. 2 ways I cope with depression. I don't want you on your brethren. Told I go to keep it stepping. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't. You're one of my many women. Knee got me tunnel vision. Cut on my flat circumcision. Fucked her in the studio session. 2 ways I cope with depression. I don't want you on your brethren. Told I go to keep it stepping. Can't trust no foot. No hoe, I don't want love, nah, nah, nah. She only wants wood, nah, nah, nah. But it's calm, car, I just want us, nah, nah, nah. These days I've been cool, nah, nah, nah. Mommy don't want me, but I go Abela. Femi told you now you're me the MO. You can love one, but I'll have many others. I'll be more her if you stepped on my Air Force One. Hard to crack like Moscow, they cannot test this one. I could clash you easy, it'll be a murky one. They might only back for the Snapchat and the real life is long. If you see me in a 4-door with 4 hoes, AP party, run me the postcode. Swear you have a girl. We ain't talking no more. I'm lying, but you will never know. Tell your man that he don't want the smoke. Give me 4 seconds, I'll be right at your door. I don't want love because I am a hoe. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't. You're one of my many women. Knee got me tunnel vision. Cut on my flat circumcision. Fucked her in the studio session. 2 ways I cope with depression. I don't want you on your brethren. Told I go to keep it stepping. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't. You're one of my many women. Knee got me tunnel vision. Cut on my flat circumcision. Fucked her in the studio session. 2 ways I cope with depression. I don't want you on your brethren. Told I go to keep it stepping. Can't trust no foot, no hoe. I don't want love, nah, nah, nah. She only wants wood, nah, nah, nah. But it's calm, car, I just want us, nah, nah, nah.
You never pick up my calls, you're just always busy. You just don't have time for me no more.
Shut the fuck up now. Your girl show me BBs and I said, ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la. Your girl show me breasts and I said, ooh la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la la. These days I've been feeling alone. What do you do? What do you do when you're feeling alone? I got Henny and Kelly today and I can't even lie, man, it's hitting the dome. These days they ain't on my phone, but I still end up.
نوال خرمان حيفا.
جديد المدينة عم بحاول عالخفيف كله تمام هينا منعيش طب انت كيف الشوارع والحارات لون الشجر صوت الجراد
اسمع بدي ايش فك بدي اسامبل اغنية اللي حكيت لك عن اليانا اني بحبهاش فيها. سامبلينج يعني اوكي. كثير بس والله ما هو البيت رهيب. انا هذا جزء اللي بين الليركس اللي فجأة بصير دقة عربية دف مع ابصر شو في اشياء ثانية هناك كثير كثير حلو. ايش اسم الاغنية؟ ايش كان اسمها؟ اسمها الشام. الشام. بيانو والله، ولا حتى لحظة بس انا بس كنت اسمع صوت الدقة، الدف. ابصر شو كان اسم الاغنية. الشام والله اسم الشام. الشام اي ال جبت. هاي.
Want to get the coolest stuff from the best online stores around the world, but they don't deliver to your address?
الشام اسم الاغنية اليانا. هاي مش طبلة، ايش هي هاي؟ تا 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 تا. مش طبلة. اللي بكون ماسكها واحد هيك بايده ومعه، ايش اسمها؟ ولا طبلة والله ماني عارف. خلص حلو 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 حلو. وهذا بيانو اللي بيعمل هي اللي هي اللي بتخش هون. هون لا مش السنيرز، هاي هيك انسترومنت غريبة هي اللي بتخش هون بالضبط، بتخش هون اوضح شي بتسمعها. اسف، ما كنت فكرت هاي، تحمست عليها صراحة. ما كملناهاش هذيك الاغنية. ايش كانت الاغنية؟ طبلة زفات. شو كانت الاغنية؟ خلينا نحاول نشوف هاي. سادن بالي.
My warrior of light, walk free and bear the light.
وما بعرف كيف فكرتنا تاني وين كنا بآخر خريف. ستسكني وبحيط مدينة كيف خلالك تنسالك لقيتك نسيني من زمان وتسألني عن غيابي في أيلول ففي البعد تعرف معنى اللقاء وفي البعد سيعرف قلبك معنى الشفاء وسيعرف طعم العودة بعد الانتظار
في أغنية عرفتها بصدفة قبل فترة حلو قاعد بدور عليها شيء مان عم بتعب هسه
مين اللي ضل مين اللي راح وانت كيف حوش مصاري ولا ضاعوا بالبارات بحكوا عليك ان انت داير عالبنات احكي اخبار زاد الحمل بعد اللي صار خف الامل كيف الاهل مشتاقة نقعد عالرصيف وما بكفي كتر الكلام يوصف حلا حيفا وهواه وخد مني ما في ولا أي مكان بيسوى البلاد في كل بلاد ميلي عليك روح سلملي عالبحر أنا روحي بين ايديه هوا تراب وحجر لو تسألوا ليه بحبه وعبالي خطر بسأل أنا ليش ما بحبنا الوطن يا وطن اسألني على بالي لما أكون أنا لحالي تشغل بالي أنا حيرة وأتذكر الليالي عسطح البيت وكاسة شاي وكانت ستي تحكي معاي تغنيني الوطن غناي اسأل شو اللي باقيلي وما بكفي كتر الكلام يوصف حلا حيفا وهواه وخد مني ما في ولا أي مكان بيسوى البلاد في كل بلاد
Oh my god, my classmate was called.
روح سلم لي عالبحر أنا
روحي بين ايديه
Not using ChatGPT. The professor was very angry.
قلت انتو شراعشن جاي تخاب عليك وحتتخب الصفات علي بنقط ومش بفلكس لانه عالخط وانا بنهش في الكاش وبالغيزات مرة ترد ومرة فريسة وده وقت المشفت واخد داخل عم مجرد وقفل في اوروبا الطيار مش حمل طلقة داخل فيكم وبخلص مش حاجات في ايدي صعبة اخضر في جيبي ومش بكمر صاحبك قصة طلع اهطل بيسوحك وبتفرج فيش حد واقف في صفك سكرات عين مخضرة من دون الشرف قلت انتو شراعشن جاي تخاب عليك وحتتخب الصفات علي بنقط ومش بفلكس لانه عالخط وانا بنهش في الكاش وبالغيزات مرة ترد ومرة
الصوت ممكن يبقى قاتل ومميت، والسر في كل هذه الأفعال إن الصوت طاقة إنرجي، وفي حقيقته لما نحاول نوصفه نقول إن هو موجة تضاغطية لها أثر ميكانيكي.
لا مش ناقصك ده كله نزل وبطني غصبان، تلفوا ترجعوا لبا بشوفوا ضوء على الرف عارفين بنحفل وبنشوش مسمعش تراك حد بيقلد بتاعت الظبطة مش بتنو وين جسمتي أولى من الأول بعمل ساجد تاني ده هيبقى صوتي ممدوح صحي اوتوماتيك وبرفع على البوس شطة انفي شطة جوتي شطة عالشوز عشان حمزة حلو وانت هلا منحوس. لا مش ممكن تكونوا حتى من التوب 10 هو وتقللوا صم عيد السيما بابا ليكوا بوب لين في فرق بين الكلمة والفعل ألف الحد على رقبته لو باك تيشيرت لوحده غالي دب سعر كلم دادي لو على بيت داك. لا مش ناقصك ده كله نزل وبطني غصبان تلفوا ترجعوا لبا بشوفوا ضوء على الرف
اللي شفناه يعني حاجة مش بسيطة، لفت نظرنا إلى عقوبة اسمها الصوت وما يمكن للصوت أن يصنعه. والصوت طاقة ممكن تبقى عنيفة جدا. الصوت ممكن يخترق الجلد واللحم والشحم وممكن
غريب البني ادم هذا بس حبيت.
Happy Valentine's! Happy Valentine's! Gabriela! Gabriela! I love you!
Let's go. Look.
Let's go.
Are they fake? I don't know, no. I keep my moves on the low. I keep it G like polo. Then I run from the poor. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, all time. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, my man. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. We hit the spot, you know it's curtains. My city hop, cause I'm the person. I lead the flock, they do the working. I see the girl, I buy the pay the fees. Are you bluffing? Doubling my G's and I'm cutting. I came up from nothing to something. Ooh, I love it. Rise from the hate, I'm above it. Put it on a chain, then I bust it. I do want it, and I want it all now. Read the fruits from it. Yeah, I'm going all out. Get the streets popping. We dealing to start out. If you really are now, splash with holy water. Are they fake? I don't know, no. I keep my moves on the low. I keep it G like polo. Then I run from the poor. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, all time. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, my man. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. Middle fingers to the haters, tryna see O's on my payslips. I off-white bar ain't racist. One then I take it. Teacher told me I ain't going places, but soon I'll be doubling her wages. Soon I'll be riding in a big black Rover. Feet up, chilling with a beat and chauffeur. Work sleep, then I will repeat and over. Rhyme peak, then I'm on the street much colder. Silly people, they be feeble. When my feet full, I'm the lead cool. Couldn't recall, we were equal. We're the people, and I need more. Are they fake? I don't know, no. I keep my moves on the low. I keep it G like polo. Then I run from the poor. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, all time. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. 2 G's tryna get it all night. Cause the top is alright. Jiggy, my man. Oopsie, if they hitting our side, they ain't hitting our hype. Till them uppers bye. No days off.
I step off the block and I'm feeling nice.
True say I find her appealing. I took a U-turn just to pre that twice. In the whack till the G baptized.
Step off the block and I'm feeling good. Now I got 6 trying to link me. It's fair to say that I overbooked. You do not show the crooks.
Step on your block and the food ain't shit. Your car ain't shit. Your crew ain't shit. All the little moves that you do ain't shit.
Miss my war in heaven, I'm still waiting on your call. XVX, hold it steady, then we watch that body drop.
Lay me down, boy, I just wanna feel you.
Vai popular Lona.
I don't even like people. I've clocked it. At home, just me and my music. You was at Wireless, doing mosh pits. She wanted a city girl summer. I came through and I stopped it. Sweet one, she a low-key girl. I John private, she locked it. Still double tap when she drop it. Still double tap when she drop pics. Had feelings, but I lost it. We make good gal turn into hoes. 6:30, make her drop it. Got fresh crepe when you step, better watch it. I don't do problems, beef, I squashed it. Might go central, take me a snap. Posting the mains, hit I'm like, watch this. Buy me a crib before I buy any watches. Still can't tell the time. Acting, dancing, what else can you do? Well, a little bit of this on the side. I don't even drive, but I'll jump in a ride. Break in the middle, clutch on the side. I don't really care what they say, cause if it don't pay, then yeah, I'll let that slide. I don't even like people. I've clocked it. At home, just me and my music. You was at Wireless, doing mosh pits. She wanted a city girl summer. I came through and I stopped it. Sweet one, she a low-key girl. I John private, she locked it. Still double tap when she drop it. I don't need drugs to have a good time. It's just me, my guys, and a vibe. Say that she curved me, then she lie. Well, actually maybe not. Like me an IG model. Say that she single, babes, I'll take that spot. Say that I chat to loads of things, it's true. But I don't like these spots, let me tell you why. Feel like I found me a wife. 5'5", way too fine, she's nice. Nice eyes, to a T, my tap. Talk on the phone. Yeah, we fight, it's a rap. It will be bliss by the night. I'm so indecisive. One gal on the left, one gal on the right. Can't lie, I think I'm a popular loner. I know many people, but I don't fuck with them. Ask me, what do I rate myself? I'm not ugly, but still not 10 out of 10. Claim me and say they're my guys. On the slide, only got 3 friends. I lied, probably like 10. Couple of the YouTubers and the guys that made latest trends. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm an actor. When they ask for my profession, sit him down. Simon says, gotta teach him a lesson. Took my shot, and it went in. Free kick, started bending. Come to the fact I'm a popular loner. That's why I left her on pen. I don't even like people. I've clocked it. At home, just me and my music. You was at Wireless, doing mosh pits. She wanted a city girl summer. I came through and I stopped it. Sweet one, she a low-key girl. I John private, she locked it. Still double tap when she drop it. Still double tap when she drop it. I've clocked it. I don't even like people. Still double tap when she drop it. I've clocked it. I don't even like.
Death is in bloom.
In this life, I gotta get rich, I can't be broke. I was asking favors, and everyone telling me no. Wait till the tables turn, we'll see who stays or goes. I don't wanna be outside, I need someone that can keep me home. Yo, I feel so close, but so far. Go home, I go hard, how can I stop when I come this far? I smile outside, deep down I'm scarred. They only see the results, the pain, they don't know the half. It's part of my life's redemption, I see it, I want it, we get it. I still walk with God, but battling demons, and I can't let them. They say that they love me, but I still don't know their intention. I'm trying to live my dream, they're offering peas, I don't wanna sell it. She only look good in the edit. They take but they won't give credit. The rumors spread like shotgun pellets. I duck and dive, cause they aim where my head is. I couldn't care less if they like me. What you think that I do this for merits? Say what they want, don't address it. So be, I let it. In this life, I gotta get rich, I can't be broke. I was asking favors, and everyone telling me no. Wait till the tables turn, we'll see who stays or goes. I don't wanna be outside, I need someone that can keep me home. Yo, I feel so close, but so far.
أهم شيء عشان عايشة بس
How can I stop when I come this far? I smile outside, deep down I'm scarred. They only see the results, the pain, they don't know the heart.
Fam that lost and said I'm okay, but deep down really, you know I was vexed. I give more than I ever get back, I got my brothers, I don't need friends. This sweet one don't know nothing about me, still gonna give man head. Aye, she want a brand new body, that IG hoes don't got to her head. Free my bro, we locked in like dread, that shit don't hurt me though. Told bro we gotta stay on point, can't get lined or burnt by a hole. don't know who you are. Band for band with me or so. Separately, got nothing to show. Separately, I go back to the block. And it don't hit the same.
In this life, I gotta get rich, I can't be broke. I was asking favors, and everyone telling me no. Wait till the tables turn, we'll see who stays or goes. I don't wanna be outside, I need someone that can keep me home. Yo, I feel so close, but so far. Go home, I go hard, how can I stop when I come this far? I smile outside, deep down I'm scarred. They only see the results, the pain, they don't know the half.
It's G-Dubs, baby.
Been telling me yes, man been telling me no. Lockdown, I've been inside. Long time I ain't been on my home. When they call, don't answer the phone. I just wanna be on my own. I get up and get in my zone. I can't explain this feeling. Everyone said that they love me, liars simply don't know the meaning. My shorty keep it simple. I got her, don't need to please me. My songs, like my feelings, in the bank, but I can't release them. I grind cause I gotta get paid. 1% chance, 99% faith. I fell in love with the hustle, I fell in love with the chase. No emotion, put in the pain. We get it no matter the weather. Sun, snow, sleet, rain. Go sleep and do it again. My heart been telling me yes, man been telling me no. Lockdown, I've been inside. Long time I ain't been on my phone. When they call, don't answer the phone. I just wanna be on my own. I get up and get in my zone. All of these empty promises, it's like I don't know what's real. Everyone turn out fake, and now I don't know how to feel. I'm in the driver's seat, I can't control the wheel. We can split everything else, but no, we ain't splitting the bill. Let's see how far it can take me. They say I'm a blow, never say how long it will take me. But I'm on the way, just wait me. I thought she was done with me, now she said that she can't replace me. My heart been telling me yes, man been telling me no. Lockdown, I've been inside. Long time I ain't been on my home. When they call, don't answer the phone. I just wanna be on my own. I get up and get in my zone. My heart been telling me yes, man been telling me no. Lockdown, I've been inside. Long time I ain't been on my home. When they call, don't answer the phone. I just wanna be on my own. I get up and get in my zone.
فيش سبب بس خلص. هيك بلشت هيك لازم نخلص.
Of course I be cutting them ties, cause everyone acts like someone they're not. They made this one too big, now a man gotta move, I'm changing spots, I'm switching house. Said I can't get to her heart, she changing her locks. But I want a girl that don't want me, low key it be turning me on, don't know why. Many questions, I ain't the answer. Don't ask me for peace, just cause you know that I got a girl, I ain't your father. I want a girl with a figure, but to get her you gotta get figures. I got her so you do the math, the circle got smaller, the stack got bigger. And can I say I'm rich now, I'm far from that. I'm close to a star, but I'm far from the trap. I let her close to my heart, she done me dirty, it felt like my heart got attacked. Feel so close to the end, but a man just started. Still on my feet, I'm not in my mode. I'm not in my mode. Popular alone, I'm kid, but I still won't go. Just give me a call, I'll be there when you need. Everything comes with a cost, just know you won't get it for free. You said that you're feeling the same, but I heard a change when you speak. We going round in circles, this got me feeling weak. She put it all on, I can't use my heart, I'm turning it off. I know I signed up to the game, but what if I want it to stop? What if this ain't what I want? What if this ain't what I need? God gave me necessities, now I'm here fighting greed. Now I'm here fighting sleep, I'm up all night trying to find an escape. I'm cutting off friends, I'm finding peace. Just give me a call, I'll be there when you need. Any time of the day, I don't know how this shit got me feeling away. We ain't spoken in a while, I just sent her a text, like yo, have you eaten today? Just give me a call, I'll be there when you need. Everything comes with a cost, just know you won't get it for free. You said that you're feeling the same, but I heard a change when you speak. We going round in circles, this got me feeling weak. She put it all on, just give me a call, I'll be there when you need.
speak. We going round in circles. This got me feeling weak, and she put it all on.
مع تطبيق يوتيوب ميوزك يمكنك اكتشاف أنواع الريمكس واحدا تلو الآخر تلو الآخر تلو الآخر.
Look, ain't really much in the hood these days. I'm tryna get me paid. 10 racks can really do good these days. Keep my pack so late. This body wanna link and talk about dates. She don't know man's face. I know that my links back home wanna see man paid. And I know that's great. Cause I know I'm gonna keep it 100. Old damn summer, your guy can't flex like me, what a bummer. If a guy need work, he can come do run. I need a white S chain for my white S gunners. On a date with a bird tryna cut some hummus, but I need a big whip tryna flex that Hummer. Checks on my team, got split with my brother, got check on my dude, drop a check for my mother. You know we're all vintage, just gliding, tryna flip through notes, just doing my thing. I was out with a brody, just sliding. He ain't never been driving, no license. But being on the slide, we just vibing. I remember back then we were just skyping. Now I'm out OT with a crew flying. Baby girl told me, are you really riding? You know we're all vintage, just gliding, tryna flip through notes, just doing my thing. I was out with a brody, just sliding. He ain't never been driving, no license. But being on the slide, we just vibing. I remember back then we were just skyping. Now I'm out OT with a crew flying. Baby girl told me, are you really riding? Took a stop off for tea, ain't really much on my G's. Bro going stuff on new beat, a drop on fleet. Know that her boy on T, she won't take calls on E, never post on her feed. Know that my link can't leak, don't buy the hand that fees, double lock on speed. Bro's been out OT, might never come back low key. I was out with a bro on a pedal bike, cruising through ends with my bro, got a test on his phone. Told the plug bring time with a medal bike, flexing my dog on a text and post by the hole. Never tell when I check, when I pop my phone. If a snake try call, leave a message at tone. I ain't never took drugs, but check on my flex. If you watch man step when I'm out of my zone. You know we're all vintage, just gliding, tryna flip through notes, just doing my thing. I was out with a bro, he just sliding. He ain't never been driving, no license. But being on the slide, if you just vibing. I remember back then we were just skyping. Now I'm out OT with a crew flying. Baby girl told me, are you really riding? You know we're all vintage, just gliding, tryna flip through notes, just doing my thing. I was out with a brody, just sliding. He ain't never been driving, no license. But being on the slide, if you just vibing. I remember back then we were just skyping. Now I'm out OT with a crew flying. Baby girl told me, are you really riding? I'm that same old body with the steez. In a baked outfit, got a shark on the hood of my top and an ape on my tee. Been a minute since I linked with the bro, said link up soon, let's talk over tea. These days it's all about flex and talk about bro, I'm trying to make this P. I got a text from the bro in Cali telling me sit tight, gonna make me a beat. In a guy for the stylish babe on a stylish date, trying to make me a treat. She's trying to talk about rovers, it's over, I'm trying to bag the stream. 2 sets, let me take this call, gotta ski real soon, trying to pattern this G. It's been OT nights, bit far from the den, trying to get big checks and the cash flow speed. A couple boys on the block, man, the feds been lapping on locals and socials, man's looking all hot. So the youth just play off the violence and make peace, don't worry about crops. I'm just keeping it real, man, you know my dough, trust me, big words to my pops. In the yard at the end with the bro scheme, man, you know me, I'm taking champagne shots. Don't talk like you know my thing, when you're around my thing, I send you to the shops. My bro just came uptown with the latest trends and a few odd cops. In a vintage whip, just gliding, stay sliding in a coupe drop top. Hey, baby girl, I got Tino Tetley, wait, tell me why you never come check me. You tell me that I'm way too spendy, wait, babes, I'm just too flexy. I got eyes on my chest, that's Fendi. Step to a high class rave with a glass in my hand and I'm still in a tech feast. My bro got a coupe, that's a Bentley. Money come nice, get plenty. Got a foreign little baddie in the crew with the face caked up, but you know that's Fenty. Took a snap in the E-class crew, now she tryna ask who's picking up in the Benzie. Come off that flex, man, I'm not tryna flirt, man, you know I'm just friendly. These times, man, I might with the losing the way to a crib, so she know I step pricey. Her old man left like a weirdo, I'm hero, man, he ain't nothing like me. Can't force my flex at the function, do it nicely, be subtle, man, lightly. Got my game back in like 010, but man, YGs, I'm in love with the 90s. Don't show me no stripes, my bro, man, that's not like me, only step in the Nikes. True say my bro got a check, but I said lie with, man, just spend that wisely. Don't flex your checks on Snapchat or IG, don't do it on IG. Lie, bro, yeah, don't do it on IG.
This is Saint, take it in.
Lost to secure that bag. Broke couldn't hang too late. Them times more time than the boys on tag. Can't take questions but mention when my guys on road. Yeah, he moves all mad. Just hit a lick with the baked outfit with the custom kits and I'm looking all mad. Days in the D with the say about me, left the crib real light, came back with a stack. Yeah, my finances not looking too bad. 5-star meal, that sweet one made. Now I'm not gonna front, cause the taste went bad. But she makes souffles on Tuesdays, might get a quick taste, but the ting don't lack. Garlic broski on low key, near the local shop, cause the guy got packs. Yeah, I swear she a baddie, drop man addy. Bro got cute, got a jaggy, falling draggy, baby girl outside. Yeah, you're a chef and she whipping up tight, can't even lie. This one's coming on nice, smiles to reference to my guys. Look, she might just keep me for dinner. Lotion trucks get spin up, feels get triggered. I know, average. Yeah, say that she's lacking a man, businessman. Yeah, I got business plans, I'm just trying to get some bands. Left OT on a bro with the G's, came back to the edge, wanna talk about miss me. Seen them posts on the ground with some average man. Tell me how we look all 50. Forgive me, my bank's on fleek. If you check my notes and you see the old crispy. Quick dinner date, we can grab some drinks. I can pay for the bill, take you home, you can miss me. I ain't gonna go out treating other man's girls before me. I make my band and I go step my money. Just like that, on the floor. Yeah, I swear she a baddie, drop man addy. Bro got cute, got a jaggy, falling draggy, baby girl outside. Yeah, you're a chef and she whipping up tight, can't even lie. This one's coming on nice, smiles to reference to my guys. Look, she might just keep me for dinner. Lotion trucks get spin up, feels get triggered. I know, average. Yeah, say that she's lacking a man, businessman. Yeah, I got business plans, I'm just trying to get some bands. See the lads been chilling in the tea, running. Yeah, the weekday dragons, the feed's been slapping, the pats stay stacking, the cats keep catting. Late night grind, get the money, you'll steal. Yeah, the coupe broke down, gotta book me a ride, that will give me back size, cause I'm falling off time, gotta build up my slime, get back to the G's. Yeah, sorry about coming on time, late night putting in time, late night drinking with slime. Look at this money on mine, check out my drip on mine, check out your drip, no shine. Check out your clip, no cry, yeah. Look at this money on me, all of this honey on me. Body turn dummy on me, screaming out yummy on me. Look at this money on me, all of this honey on me. Body turn dummy on me, screaming out yummy on me. Hey, in a gaff when it's all about grinding. Late night when the ball starts sliding. Plain Jane got the belly, no diamonds. Use time, got a hand on my timing. Late night got my celly on silent. Still here trying to handle my filings in silence. Watch your dog just hiding. Yeah, sorry about coming on time. Late night putting in time. Late night drinking with slime. Look at this money on mine. Check out my drip on mine. Check out your drip, no shine. Check out your clip, no cry, yeah. Look at this money on me. All of this honey on me. Body turn dummy on me. Screaming out yummy on me. Look at this money on me. All of this honey on me. Body turn dummy on me, screaming out yummy on me. Hey, the grind's on, I'm just trying to get the bands in. Take man, you know we get the hands in. Throw fists, you know that they're landing. We stand out, cause you know we can't stand in. We look good, we ain't ever look stranded. In a cute top down, tunes banging. The YG's outside just standing. Round the corner is a youth trying to bank it. With the bro been whizzing in the cute. Treasure hunt looking for the lead. Touch dog, gotta get the feed. Put it in the beat. Late night, I got a lot of D. When I get the bag on my crew, gotta get it with the crew. Spend a couple hundreds for a shoe. Put a couple hundreds on my crew. That in my boot. Hold on, wait, that's who. That's that chill I got rude. I ain't spending on you. I'm just fronting on you. Always got something on you. Ain't running from you. I will be running on you. Always got a gunner on two. Got a stunner on two. Here's about to run upon you. About to hold one upon you. Don't ask what I do. I ain't even moving no food. But I make bits for my crew. Yeah, she know I trust her the cheddar. Gucci that's Louis in my sweater. She like the feel on my levels. I wanna whip one a Tesla. Flexing it run like a rest. She know I impress her. Like diamonds on good under pressure. Yeah. Now she wanna leave with me. Now she wanna be with me. Come on, bro, can't you see? 24's getting this cream. Tryna go live with my dream. Mansion cool with my team. Mansion cool with my team. Gucci that's Louis in my sweater. She like the feel on my levels. Yeah.
With the bow, been whizzing in the key. Treasure hunt, looking for the lead. Pit star, gotta get the feed. Put it in the beat. Late night, I got a lot of D. When I get the bag of my crew, gotta get it with the crew. Spend a couple hundreds for a shoe. Throw a couple hundreds on my crew. That ain't my boo. Hold on, wait, that's who. That's that chick that got rude. I ain't spending on you. I'm just fronting on you. Hoes got something on you. Ain't running from you. Ho will be running on you. Hoes got a gunner on T. Got a stunner on T. Here's about to run upon you. About to hold one upon you. Don't ask what I do. I ain't even moving no food. But I make bits for my crew. Pen Lil Joe and chill up in east. Yeah, love that move, I'll be in a free. Bread get chased, don't do no race, come I drive a lean. Toe with a bean. Blow smoke, Billy Jean. Bro got hella fiends. Hella rats, hella jeans. Yeah, don't talk much, just moves. Your chick notice me. Think she knows my tunes. She can't roll with me. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Roll too bad, that's cute. I got a bag, it's in the back. We cannot talk about that. I got a rag, it's no whack. Blessing the pure with a stack. Talking no budget, you just gotta love it. She know when I grab an attack. And she want the yo, I'm up in the four, spending and making it back. I got a crib, see where I live, so she ain't making it back. I owe my brother my number one gunner, I promise you making a stack. You see they live in the price of the kitchen, you think that we whipping up crack. The price on the bezel, I need me a Pen Lil Joe and chill up in east. Yeah, love that move, I'll be in a free. Bread get chased, don't do no race, come I drive a lean. Toe with a bean. Blow smoke, Billy Jean. Bro got hella fiends. Hella rats, hella jeans. Yeah, don't talk much, just moves. Your chick notice me. Think she knows my tunes. She can't roll with me. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Roll too bad, that's cute.
So that girl don't stress me bad. Yeah, she just wanna fuck me and feel sexy bad. Sell me bad. All my diamonds heavy and I'm flexing bad. Fuck that college boy tryna take my chain. We get messy bad. Yeah, get that hoe the boot. I'm being messy bad. Yeah, she think she too cute. I fuck her bestie bad. Let's see bad. Girl, let's make a movie. Go Scorsese bad. Sexy bad. I brought sexy back. Now she tryna press me bad. How about the black truck hopping the fatty? She wanna touch my body. She got a fat but she got a body. Hoes waiting in the line. She love doing Miley. Diamonds on me like some Bible. He was showing then it's back to the highway. Bitches love us like Beyonce.
Pen Lil Joe and chill up in east. Yeah, love that move, I'll be in a free. Bread get chased, don't do no race, come I drive a lean. Toe with a bean. Blow smoke, Billy Jean. Bro got hella fiends. Hella rats, hella jeans. Yeah, don't talk much, just moves. Your chick notice me. Think she knows my tunes. She can't roll with me. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Roll too bad, that's cute.
No.
I don't care about you.
Nah.
You don't care about me. Roll too bad, that's cute.
من زمان انا يبغى فيه.
Yeah, your guy like me, what a bummer. Flex and blue, my girl up in red, my bad when I think she a gunner. Louis the purse, track of Chanel, I know my chick think I'm a stunner. I know my address, I know of her, and she be my number one lover. I flex overseas, I'm over the scene, but yeah, she like me on the cover. My talent is still undiscovered. Testing my agent, telling me patient, I need me some stuff for my lover. So what if they think that I'm rude? I know that summer's blue. Ignorance bliss starts. I swear that I'm feeling you too. I swear that she's feeling me too. Wait, and she wanna talk over food. I cover the bill. I tell her I'm leaving in two. I'm busy, I'm moving the loot. Got too much to lose. No, I can't talk to your friends. I ain't got nothing to prove. So what can I do? You wanna follow the trends? I wanna follow the clues.
Yeah, you cannot follow the route. You know the motto is true. Them versus us, that was the one. I got a squad for the troops. And I got a thought, she sent me the job before she sent me the nudes. And she don't want you, she want deuce. Yeah, counting them thousands up in the mountains, drink from the fountain of youth. I'm at this pull up with
ناصر الحلو.
I got a winner on glue.
What's up, cousin?
Then win again, I might put a sum on loop, but we ain't got nothing to prove.
جدول نص ساعة.
Before I ain't fucking with coops, I might hell once it's a fluke, cause I ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, nigga too tall for the roof. She in stilettos, I feel like Chappelle, the way I'm controlling these youths.
Brody, if only you knew. Went from the effed up kid with a messed up trim and a hole in the shoe to making a whole lot of moves.
She want me to show and to prove. You know I'm a star in this big blue sky. Why should I be only for you? No wonder she over the moon. 200 in the room. As long as she's crisp, I'm calm with it. Got a brown skin ting in halving it. Got a pouch round spending half on it. Give a fuck but the shit they harboring. So sharp I could give man's barber trim. No words, my guy, no arguments. We could take the bits to parliament. We say what you say so marvelous. How can he rate those youths? Spinning the same old tunes. It's feeling like deja vu. I weren't gonna stay, but you bugging me too. Yeah. Guess it won't be too much trouble to spend all my summer with you. As long as it's blue.
ما تعيدنا يعني.
Hello, Joe, and chill up in east. Just frontin' on you. Always got something on you. Ain't running from you. But we'll be running on you. Always got a gunner on T. Got a stunner on T. Always about to run up on you. The whole one up on you. Don't ask what I do. I ain't even moving no food. But I make bits for my crew. Yeah. She know I trust her the cheddar. Gucci, that's Louis in my sweater. She like the feel on my leathers. I wanna whip, wanna test her. Flexing the ground like a rest. She know I impress her. Like diamonds on good under pressure. Yeah. Now she wanna leave with me. Now she wanna be with me. Come on, bro, can't you see? 24's getting this cream. Tryna go live with my dream. Mansion crew with my team. Mansion crew with my team. Gucci, that's Louis in my sweater. She like the feel on my leathers. Yeah. She know I impress her. Like diamonds on good. With the bow bin, wasn't in the key. Treasure hunt, looking for the leap. Put star, gotta get the feel. Put it in the beat. Late night, I got a lot of D. When I get the bag of my crew, gotta get it with the crew. Spend a couple hundreds for a shoe. Throw a couple hundreds on my crew. That in my brew. Oh, don't wait, that's who. That's that chick I got rude. I will be running on you. I'm just fronting on you. Always got something on you.
مخي قرر يدفك فجأة. Hey.
That's cute. I got a bag, it's in the back. We cannot talk about that. Over a rag, it's no whack. It's in the pure with a stack. Talking no budget, you just gotta love it. Chanel when I grab an attack. She want these.
علي. خلص ضل 5 ساعات. شو حستفيد من ال5 ساعات هذول؟ مش حيفرق اشي، مش حيفرق اشي. هيك انا هسه قاعد بفكر حاليا. بس مين قال عندكم؟ مين عندكم؟ مع مين؟ خلاص بدي انام.
صار معك اشياء غريبة
شو؟
بقول لك صار معك اعراض غريبة، هل هو
يعني شوية هسه لا، وما اظنش ترجع تنعاد مرة ثانية صراحة.
يعني بس نعسان؟
ما بس نعسان.
طب وثقت لحظات الرحلة؟
هي كله على اللايف.
راح تاخذ من اللايف؟
مو ليش فاتح لايف؟ يعني مش فاتح لايف عشان حابب افتح لايف. اللايف هو المحتوى.
عشان المصداقية، بس لا انه قصدي الفيديو نفسه مع شوت واشياء.
هو يعني اللايف كله فاتح. Mustafa. عدنا لكم مرة أخرى. اسم البسومي كانت هون. وين اسمه؟ وطلعت هل فتحي عايش؟ لا فتحي ماكل هوا. اوف شو ممكن اسوي هالسنة؟ ضايل كمان 4 ساعات. والله كثر، ومش حاسس لهم داعي اصلا 4 ساعات. يما شو عجبني ردك انا دايما حمام
روحي بين ايديها وتراب وحجر. لا تسألوني بحبه خطر، بسأل انا ليش ما بحبنا الوطن.
انا وطننا.
الروزانة كلي أنا فيها، شو عملاتي الروزانة الله يجازيها. والبنت تقول لميها يما بدي 50 10 لحواش العين ب10 لحواش.
Look around you. The Ummah has come to a crucial moment in time. We're getting attacked on every corner. And our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warned us of that. He said there will come a time where holding onto your religion will be like holding onto a hot coal. Subhanallah.
شلون يحل عني
يعطيكم العافية. كيف حالكم حبايبي؟ شو الأخبار؟ والله أنا اشتقت لكم. أنا بعرف إني أنا يعني بنزلش ساحب، بس والله الواحد ما لوش نفس الصراحة. يعني كل يوم عم يشوف مجازر، كل يوم بيشوف ناس عم بتموت من الجوع، فوالله الواحد بطل له نفسه يصور ويضحك ويصرخ. ولا أنا يا جماعة الخير بتابع، أنا بتابع يعني مبروك للفيصل عشان أخذ الدوري، وبالنسبة للوحدات كمان مبروك إنه تأهل على نهائي كأس الأردن.
كاسة شاي.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour in 2025. This is the first event, and I'm currently on site here in Germany. It is a 10-player tournament, which leads to an 8-player knockout. And today we will say goodbye to 4 people from the incoming semi-final and final matches. Magnus Carlsen leads Nurjabek Abdusattorov 1-0. Vincent Keimer leads Alireza Firouzja 1-0. Fabiano Caruana leads Gukesh 1-0. And Hikaru Nakamura and Javahir Sandarov are all tied up. And the battle for 9th place, Levon Aronian is leading Vladimir Fedoseev. Now, of course, they are fighting for 9th and not for a championship, but they're also fighting for $5,000 as well as points for the overall standings. So, not an insignificant game. And I'm going to get into the action right away, okay? So we're going to kick things off in this matchup between Magnus Carlsen and Nurjabek Abdusattorov, and everybody with the white pieces from this starting position opted to move this knight to b3, fighting for some space, and also in the future opting to build up the center like this, which makes a lot of sense. White could have started as well by playing the move f4, targeting over here, but decided not to do that. Black plays f6, and in this game, this is what Nurjabek chose. You're going to see some other games where White played d4 pretty quickly. Nurjabek did something completely unique and played the move c4. It's a very committal decision. It's a committal decision because he isn't making a pawn break, and he's actually making the position a little bit Swiss cheese-like, right? With pieces able to kind of jump on all these complexes. And now Magnus actually has to be a little bit accurate with the setup that he chooses. Now in the game, Magnus played knight b6, and here Nurjabek did something very surprising. I mean, I thought for like, without a doubt, he was going to play knight e3, defending this pawn, and trying to put the knight on d5. That makes a lot of sense. But he went for d3, which is not really a move that I understood, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I thought it was very natural for him to play this. I'm not saying that, like, I would have played it given... Well, actually, I would have played it given the circumstance. And it just so happens to be a better move. I just didn't understand the intricacies of playing the move d3. Maybe Nurjabek didn't like something, but he ends up going d3, baits Magnus into playing knight a4, which is actually the best move. Very fascinating here. I mean, just basically fighting for the dark square complex, and then as soon as the knight goes there and takes its eye off the center, he goes d4. So that was his idea. His idea was not to block his dark squared bishop, and to strike the center twice, and do this. And I guess now he's going to finish up the development of all...
Please, let me join your guild. I want to be a part of a team.
All of his pieces, get like a pretty nice position, and just have, you know, be happy. Magnus now puts his queen into the center of the board. Okay, he attacks the knight on d4. White now has to make a decision. Nurjabek drops out of the center, because taking on c6 would have probably helped black consolidate or open up the rook. And now we have just a very deep move here from Magnus. We have the move a5, which is, yeah, that's high-level stuff. You know, if Magnus had played something else, White's next move was going to probably be something like b3, and then maybe even in the future more moves like on this side, like maybe even b4 and b5. Like this is not a completely outlandish plan because this knight doesn't have very many forward moves. So Magnus plays this move, which is quite high level, and he wants to fight for the dark squares in the center of the board, and he wants to be able to stop White from ever playing b4 himself. Now Nurjabek plays queen d2, and I just feel like Nurjabek didn't have quite a good feel of the positions early because Magnus immediately punishes him. He already moved that f-pawn once, but basically the second that White takes his eye off the center, Magnus attacks it, and now Nurjabek plays f4, which is a huge commitment. It's a pawn sacrifice. He just straight up loses a pawn, but in losing this pawn, he's now arguing, well, I'm going to get a lot of my pieces developed with bishop d3, queen e6, and knight e3. Apparently knight e3 is a mistake. I mean, to me, this is a very, you know, simple solution here. You just play the pawn to g6. But Magnus didn't go for that. Maybe he didn't like that Nurjabek was going to quickly rotate his king. We taught, you know, I mentioned how, you know, this is...
محمود
نمت بس بقول لك هي عايشه يعني 10 دقائق بتطلع يعني خلال ساعه بتكون موجوده.
اوكي.
ما خلي باب الدار فاتح تحت عشان تفوت.
لا لا هيني قاعد.
اكيد. اسامه اعمل ميوت محمود.
خلاص يلا يلا باي باي.
obviously freestyle, so you can castle on both sides of the board, and in that case, maybe white would put the rooks here and then start some sort of attack. Evidently, Magnus didn't like something because he went here. He was being quite tentative, down 16 minutes on the clock, despite, just looking at the position, you think, well, white is, not really posing any particular dangers to black. Black is looking kind of okay. Nojabek went bishop f2, which was such a severe mistake according to the game review that it was given a double question mark, despite just simply developing a bishop. It really wanted him to castle, and that rook would have basically just hopped over. But, bishop f2, bishop e6 is ultimately what's chosen. And Magnus ends up with a clean pawn. Keep in mind, Nojabek has to win this game. It's not even about drawing this game. Like, he's worse. But he doesn't even have to draw it. He has to win it. So bishop g3, and both guys do end up hopping their kings and rooks like this. The rook just comes over. And now, here the computer really liked this move, queen g8, just sort of leaving completely, and then launching a pawn counterattack and trying to bring the rook into the game. That's what the computer here is saying is minus 1.5. Magnus chooses something much more prudent, which is just trading the pieces into an endgame where he's going to be up a pawn, and I really don't think Nojabek is going to win. Nojabek here could have kept the queens on the board, just out of a matter of, like, if I trade the queens now, I doubt I beat Magnus down a pawn. But, he keeps kind of playing the moves that he thinks are good. Magnus here chops everything down and just ends up in a position where he has 2 rooks, a bishop, and 5 pawns versus 2 rooks, a knight, and 4. And now it is really just a matter of technique. You bring out the bishop, you try offering trades, you go into a rook endgame, and you simply do this. And Nojabek is absolutely never, ever, 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 ever going to win this position. And he's, absolutely likely never, ever, ever going to draw it. Maybe against me, but not against Magnus, because white is simply a pawn down. Black plays actively now, trades into this endgame with a 2-on-3, advances the pawns, and Nojabek's pawn is fast, but it's stopped. And, yeah, Black's position is simply too powerful here. Black is just advancing. He will advance with all his pawns. Rook g7, rook check. King takes is a very nice touch. And here Nojabek resigned. He resigned because this check is coming, and let's say something like this. I'm gonna play check, bring this out, b4. White's gonna try to do something like this, and this is winning quite easily because here what you do is you can actually bring your rook to the back. You can give a check. You can also play king a2. And this is a very nice concept, right? Check, king b2, here b3, and so on. And you can also start with king a3, and then king c2. You have to give this check, and here you have to be a little careful. You cannot just quickly push your pawn. You have to redo this, but you maybe actually no. The only approach would be to put the rook on b1, but that is the way you win. And Magnus wins quite a nice game and moves on to the semifinal. And the next recap that I have for you is from an absolutely ridiculous match between Javakir Sindarov and Hikaru Nakamura. Yesterday, Hikaru on the verge. It felt like he had a 2-pawn advantage in the endgame, but it was just 1 pawn. He wasn't able to convert it down the stretch. Oh, stretching my back. And today, he also started with knight to b3, just like Nojabek. And this one was a little bit different. Here, Sindarov moved his knight out to c6 quite quickly. And Hikaru played d4. He played it very fast. And takes. And Sindarov now thought for 17 minutes. So you're going to see the Fabi game. Fabiano versus Gukesh was very similar. In that game, Gukesh went for f5. In the previous game also, Magnus played f6. He played f6 very early. He was actually quite smart about developing both of his bishops before his knights, which is very interesting in this format. Sindarov, as early as the 5th move in this game, was down he was down half the time. He spent 45 minutes on his first 5 moves, which was unbelievable. Like, I had no idea what he was thinking about. Hikaru went queen d2. He counter-spent 17 minutes. Of course, he could have played queen d2, queen c3, queen g3. He went for queen d2. Now Sindarov played f6. Knight c3, he put his queen on a5, and Hikaru just sort of like pushed this pawn, protected his queen side a little bit, and didn't let Sindarov enter. We had a trade. We had the bishop going to d6. Hikaru made an improvement, and then dropped the queen to b4 to make this trade, and this was the position that we had to work with. So basically here, only white can be better. White is better because of the bishop pair, which is, you know, traditional wisdom tells you that white has an advantage, and also white's got a pretty powerful rook. But overall, the position is kind of balanced, right? Like, I mean, black has not done anything completely wrong. Both guys have moved their rooks, which means they're either going to castle that way or they're not going to castle at all. But Sindarov, at the end of the day, has 7 minutes to 37. I mean, I don't know what is with this dude. I don't know if he just loves adrenaline. I don't know what it is. He loves having no time on the clock, and he loves giving a heart attack to the fans from Uzbekistan. F4, now a very well-timed move. Bishop C4, the only move in the position not to be worse. The knight drops back to F7, and Hikaru playing rook B1, and a nice move here from Sindarov, very well-timed. The A-pawn trying to sneak past the position. Hikaru plays B6, trying to restrict the black position as well, and then bishop D4 and rook D1, and it seems like all the pieces have arrived to the party, and this is what we have to work with. Sindarov is playing this game with 3 minutes and 52 seconds on the clock. Okay? E5. Advancing, rook takes B7 is the threat. Crazy. Sindarov closes the position, but Hikaru captures and damages the pawns. And now plays bishop F3, making sure nothing can infiltrate. Sindarov using the only thing he has, which is the A-pawn. Hikaru going to play defense now. Sindarov advances with the F-pawn. King comes forward. Knight D6, bishop E5, and it's very tense. But suddenly it's a rook and bishop endgame. And this one doesn't look particularly winnable, but the one important thing here for Hikaru is that Sindarov has a minute. So maybe he will blunder something, but Sindarov just so sharp. I mean, he's giving up pawns and creating counterplay. He's giving up pawns, but he's still creating counterplay. Like, he's a pawn down, but it's not so simple. How do you win this position? He keeps activity with 1 minute on the clock. He has played like 10, 15 moves in a row. He's going to be down 2 pawns pretty soon. Watch this. He's going to end up playing D3 for a moment, down 2 pawns, but now it is Hikaru who is down on time. We just went from 37 to 7 to like 3 to 20 to Sindarov having more time than Hikaru, which is, I don't even know how that's possible. And ultimately, this ends up in a position where, you know, Hikaru's going to try to advance his pawn, but it's actually not possible. Because black always has enough counterplay here, and it looks like maybe white can get a rook and bishop versus rook by giving away the pawn for the bishop, but it's just not going to happen. And ultimately, this game, after nearly 80 moves, in fact, no, 79, ends in a draw. Which is crazy. Which is absolutely wild. So 2 games now these dudes have had that have been so close. And the score is now 1-1. So, it's playoffs time. It's tiebreak time. They play classical, but now tiebreak is 10-minute and 10-second bonus. So completely different. We're going back to the original round-robin format. We have to break a tie. So, we sit down. Totally different game. Okay, we have some bishops in the corners, maybe again, a little bit of F3 and E4, right? We just looked at these bishops actually in the classical format. And if you take a look at the position, it was actually 2 bishops again. So 2 bishops and 2 bishops. And actually the queen and the knight. Right, that's quite a coincidence. So, this was their classical game. This is their rapid game. So F4 knight C6, E4 E5, and it is Hikaru. It's actually Sindarov completely misevaluating. But I want to draw your attention to something else. He spent 2 minutes on the first move. Not only did he do that, he proceeded to be down nearly 3.5 minutes by move 4, and he was giving up his dark squared bishop, and Hikaru got a super pleasant position from the opening. So Sindarov, after, you know, clutching it out in the classical portion, just totally like misunderstanding the position in the early stages of this rapid, and it is just Hikaru who has a great time. A4, queen F1, and it is, look at this position. Sindarov has
In diesem Video werde ich dir zeigen, wie du ChatGPT dazu nutzen kannst, dein Buch zu schreiben, und ich werde dir zeigen, wie du die künstliche Intelligenz für deine Bucherstellung und dein Buchmarketing erfolgreich nutzen und einsetzen kannst. Das, was ich dir hier zeige, ist keine Theorie, sondern das ist die Erfahrung aus über 450 Bestsellern in den letzten 18 Monaten, die wir mit unseren Kunden begleitet haben. Auch unser neues Buch Umsatz ist Freiheit ist nach der exakten Vorgehensweise erstellt worden. Das ist ein Auszug aus unserem Online-Training, und wenn du sagst, hey, das Thema mit künstlicher Intelligenz, mit ChatGPT dein Buch zu schreiben, da möchte ich mehr darüber erfahren, dann klicke unterhalb in der Beschreibung einfach auf den Link, registriere dich zum kostenlosen Online-Training und du erfährst mehr über die Möglichkeiten, was damit möglich ist. Ich möchte dir in diesem Video den neuen Weg zeigen, den neuen Weg dahingehend, wie du mit der künstlichen Intelligenz dein Buch entsprechend ausarbeitest und wie es möglich wird, in Rekordzeit dein Inhalt zu erstellen. Allerdings auch hier einige Warnungen aussprechen, dass dein Buch nicht als KI-generierte Content gezeichnet wird und im schlimmsten Fall abgelehnt wird. Was ist zum Beispiel möglich? Was kannst du mit der künstlichen Intelligenz, mit ChatGPT erarbeiten? Du kannst die Positionierung für das Buch erarbeiten. Du kannst die Analyse des Amazon-Marktes machen. Du kannst den Titel, den Untertitel für dein Buch erstellen oder ausarbeiten lassen. Du kannst die richtigen Kategorien auswählen. Du kannst die Buchbeschreibung erstellen. Du kannst das Inhaltsverzeichnis erstellen. Und jetzt, hier kommt eine Warnung, nämlich die Inhaltserstellung. Du musst es unbedingt nach der richtigen Vorgehensweise machen. Ansonsten wird im schlimmsten Fall dein Buch abgelehnt, weil es KI-generierter Content ist. Wenn du dich an die exakte Vorgehensweise hältst, die ich dir hier in diesem Video zeige, dann wird das Ganze für dich einfach und wird es auch möglich, dass es nicht als KI-generierter Content gezeichnet ist. Du kannst auch mit der künstlichen Intelligenz das Lektorat machen und deine entsprechenden Marketingunterlagen eben diesbezüglich ausarbeiten. Genau das habe ich gemacht, und ich habe dazu eine Demo entwickelt. Wenn du sagst, die vollständige Demo, die möchtest du dir einmal anschauen, diese findest du unterhalb in der Beschreibung, und dann kannst du dir die gesamte Demo anschauen, wo ich dich einfach Schritt für Schritt durch den Prozess entsprechend durchführe. Jetzt in dem Video gehe ich nur ganz kurz oberflächlich darauf ein, dass du einfach mal ein Gefühl kriegst, was ist denn alles möglich, was kann ich denn letztendlich mit ChatGPT, mit der künstlichen Intelligenz erarbeiten. Ich habe hier in dem Fall angefangen, ich habe mein Thema definiert und habe mir dann hier erstmal eine Positionierung ausarbeiten lassen, so dass ChatGPT versteht, um was für ein Thema geht es. Ich habe auch einen Kundenavatar erstellt. Und du wirst überrascht sein, wie treffend das Ganze passend ist. Ich habe mir die Ängste der Zielgruppe ausgearbeitet. Ich habe mir ausgearbeitet, was die Zielgruppe liebt, was ich natürlich dann in meinem Buch berücksichtigen kann. Was die Zielgruppe hasst, auch das habe ich mir ausgearbeitet. Ich habe den großen Traum der Zielgruppe ausgearbeitet, den ich berücksichtigen kann. Ich habe dann in dem Fall ein Handout erstellt zur Positionierung, dass ich das Ganze weiter verarbeiten kann und dass ich damit weiter entsprechend nutzen kann. Ich habe dann eben den gesamten Amazon-Markt recherchiert und analysiert. Ich habe mir die wichtigsten Keywords zusammengetragen und habe in dem Fall dann mit diesen Keywords eben weitergemacht und habe dann gesagt, alles klar, meine Top-Keywords sind, die möchte ich gerne in den Titel berücksichtigen. Ich habe dann hier in dem Fall einen Untertitel erstellt bekommen, ich habe einen Titel erstellt bekommen. Das heißt, alles innerhalb von wenigen Minuten. Du wirst in der Demo, wirst du das Ganze live sehen, und am Ende war das Resultat eine Zusammenfassung, ein Handout mit all diesen wichtigen Informationen. Dieses Handout, das habe ich dann genommen, das habe ich mir kopiert und habe es dann in meinen zweiten Customer GPT, das ist ein Assistent, der eben genau für die Bucherstellung eben gebaut wurde, habe ich das eingefügt und habe aufgrund dieses Handout, hier siehst du es, hier habe ich es entsprechend wieder hochgeladen, habe ich dann gesagt, alles klar, ich möchte eine Buchbeschreibung erstellen, und die Buchbeschreibung, die siehst du dann hier, vollständig ausgearbeitet. Das ist eben genau das, was auf Amazon zu sehen ist. Wenn wir hier einmal schauen, das hier ist in dem Fall die Buchbeschreibung. Da habe ich einfach die Erfahrung einfließen lassen aus über 450 Bestsellern, die wir in den letzten 18 Monaten begleitet haben. Des Weiteren habe ich dann gesagt, okay, die passenden Kategorien ausgesucht, auch auf Amazon ist das in dem Fall hier die Auswahl der Kategorien, und da habe ich hier die besten Kategorien entsprechend zusammengetragen und eben ausgesucht. Ich habe dann in dem Fall mein Handout erweitert und habe gesagt, okay, die häufigsten W-Fragen, die habe ich mir komplett analysieren lassen von Amazon, beziehungsweise von Menschen, was sie suchen zu meinem Buchthema, und daraus habe ich dann den entsprechenden Inhalt vorbereitet. Ich habe also das gesamte Inhaltsverzeichnis hier mit der künstlichen Intelligenz ausgearbeitet. Ich habe es dann nach unserer Vorgehensweise strukturiert und hatte dann innerhalb von wenigen Minuten hatte ich ein vollständiges Inhaltsverzeichnis. Du siehst also, wie einfach und schnell es ist, und ich lade dich dazu ein, schau dir die kostenlose Demo an, einfach auf den Link klicken, musst du keine E-Mail-Adresse eintragen, da kannst du einfach schauen, wie das Ganze sich entwickelt, wie man ein Buch komplett ausarbeiten kann. Nachdem ich den Inhalt hier erstellt habe, ist es unbedingt wichtig, dass wir jetzt nicht hingehen und sagen, ja, schreib mir mal dieses Kapitel aus, formuliere mir das aus. Denn wenn du das tust und die künstliche Intelligenz das alles ausarbeitet, dann wird es als KI-generierter Content gezeichnet und im schlimmsten Fall von Amazon abgelehnt, weil Amazon möchte keinen KI-generierten Content. Ich empfehle, dass du die KI nur zur Unterstützung und Ergänzung nutzt. Und wie man das machen kann, das zeige ich dir jetzt im nächsten Abschnitt. Wenn wir jetzt also unser Inhaltsverzeichnis haben, dann gehen wir hin und nehmen jedes Kapitel, also das hier, das ist in dem Fall ein Kapitel und das sind die Unterkapitel, nehmen wir mit einem Video auf, genauso wie ich das jetzt gerade mache, mit einem kurzen Loom-Video. Das Loom-Video ist kostenlos in der Free-Version oder halt in der bezahlten Version kostet es, glaube ich, zwischen 5 und 10 Euro. Und dann kriegst du hier ein Video und wenn du dann in Loom eingeloggt bist und auf das Video draufklickst, dann siehst du hier rechts nebendran ein Transkript. Und dieses Transkript, das können wir jetzt verwenden, können es der künstlichen Intelligenz wieder zur Verfügung stellen, können sagen, formuliere mir diese Inhalte aus nach meinem Stil. Mein Stil ist motivierend, unterhaltsam, locker und begeisternd und schreib mir das Ganze entsprechend in Reinform. Und das funktioniert, weil dann ist es dein Content und die KI nimmst du nur, um das Ganze entsprechend zu veredeln und zu erweitern. Du kannst auch, wenn du die Loom-Videos aufgenommen hast, beispielsweise zu HappyScribe gehen. HappyScribe ist ein Transkriptionsprogramm, happyscribe.com, und dort lädst du einfach deine Videos hoch und kannst dann beispielsweise hier auf die Videos draufklicken und kriegst auch dann diesbezüglich ein entsprechendes Transkript. Genau das gleiche, du kannst dir hier wieder einzelne Textabschnitte entsprechend hier rauskopieren und kannst diese dann von der künstlichen Intelligenz überarbeiten lassen und sie vervollständigen lassen, und dann wird eben dein Content unheimlich wertig sein. Das heißt also, wir nehmen jedes Kapitel des Inhaltsverzeichnisses, nehmen wir mit einem Video auf. Keine Sorge, die Videos sieht keiner. Das ist nur ein Video für dich, wo du in dem Fall die Inhalte ausarbeitest. Du kannst auch das im Interviewstil machen, dass du dich von jemandem interviewen lässt oder einfach die Frage entsprechend beantwortest. Das wird dann möglich sein, dass es erarbeitet wird. Wir haben also dann jedes Kapitel mit Loom aufgenommen und gehen dann zu einer Transkription, entweder Loom selbst oder HappyScribe, und gehen dann wieder zu ChatGPT, nehmen das Transkript und geben es ChatGPT und sagen, mit diesem Stil arbeite mir das Ganze aus. Das war jetzt mal so ein kurzer Einblick in eben die Möglichkeit der künstlichen Intelligenz. Wenn du sagst, hey, ein Buch schreibe mit künstlicher Intelligenz, und diese Möglichkeit, wie du auch an die originalen Prompts kommst, dann lade ich dich dazu ein, beim Online-Training teilzunehmen. Im Online-Training zeige ich dir Schritt für Schritt, wie du die künstliche Intelligenz einsetzen kannst und wie du das Ganze für dich nutzen kannst, dass du in Rekordzeit dein Buchinhalt erstellst. Aktuell ist das Online-Training noch kostenlos. Normalerweise kostet es 199 Euro. Durch jetzt die Möglichkeit, dich gratis zu registrieren, einfach unterhalb in der Beschreibung klicke und dir gerne auch die entsprechende Demo anschaue. Ich freue mich, von dir zu lesen. Und bis dahin, alles Liebe und Gute, herzliche Grüße, dein Jens von den Sales Angels. Bis dann, ciao, ciao und bye, bye.
Eine professionelle Website ist der Schlüssel zum Erfolg im Internet. Wenn es um das Hosting deiner Website geht, vertraue auf GoDaddy. Jetzt mit kostenloser Domain und SSL-Zertifikat bei jährlicher Laufzeit. Mehr dazu gibt's bei GoDaddy.
Two bishops versus two knights. And Hikaru's just gonna start walking the pawns. What is Java here doing? What is going on here? King b2, a nice move. It seems like every move that is made for the first 15 moves here, the advantage for white is getting bigger. But then Sindarov is like, well, how are you gonna beat me? You're gonna beat me, right? I'm not just gonna go down without a fight. I'm gonna play defense. Hikaru now has to methodically and slowly march his pieces forward, and he doesn't. Here, he needed to play queen b5, b4, and a5. That was the approach. He needed to get in there with the knights, b4, push the knight back, play a5. But instead of that, he goes here, and Sindarov catches him. He catches him with c5, and suddenly, this trade is just better for black, and Sindarov completely takes over. Oh my goodness, the advantage was as high as +4 here. Queen b5, b6, b4, knight b7, a5, all of these different ideas. But instead we have bishop d4, and what happens is Sindarov completely neutralizes the attack and swarms and wins the game. I mean, he just wins everything. Queen c5, dust settles, and Hikaru goes down. Javahir was losing in the first game of their classical segment. It was like +5 in the endgame. He was never losing in the second game, but nothing, particularly special. And now here he is. He was in a much worse position. But the second that Hikaru gave him a chance, he roared back into the game, and Hikaru had to be careful here. But all of a sudden, black consolidated and was winning the game. Unbelievable. What a resolve from Sindarov, like just incredible fighting spirit, which means that now Hikaru has to win with the black pieces. And this was one of the funniest games I have ever seen. Watch. First, the computer thought a mistake was made on move 1, which is pretty nutty. Move 1. Then it thought a mistake was made on move 2. Then it thought both guys made mistakes on move 3. Like, literal guess the elo. But obviously they're playing rapid. They can't tell the exact setup, right? b5, opening up the bishop, Hikaru gambiting a pawn, creating threats. The knight goes to b6, which is apparently also a mistake. Now white makes a mistake. Now white makes another mistake. Now white makes another mistake. But now Hikaru makes a mistake. Like, this is a red and orange circus. But after castling, right, and Sindarov playing, yeah, you're actually looking at that, right? Instead of playing castles, because he wanted to maintain the rook on this file, he plays king f1, which is also apparently a mistake. It was better for him, allegedly, to play the move e3, but nobody is understanding this position. I mean, this position is just random. It's like playing spin the bottle, or, I don't know, something else. But now Javahir plays this move knight f5, sacrificing his knight. Now Hikaru has to block the check with a knight, Sindarov taking it, and playing d4. I mean, I don't think, does Sindarov know that he won the previous game? Like, he doesn't have to win this game. He just has to not lose. But he's playing like he has to win. He plays the move d4, just total, like, it's half a bluff, half playing this incredible move knight to e6. Remember, Hikaru has to win the game, so what does Hikaru do here? He sacrifices his rook. Just take it. So we have this, queen h6, and now this move bishop f4. So the queen has to drop back. And now king g7, and it's Hikaru who's going for counterplay. Sindarov plays this move b3. Hikaru walls in the dark squared bishop, just doesn't allow it to have any life. And now a mistake, and the bishop has been completely sealed in. Suddenly Hikaru is winning. This is insane. And Sindarov has 30 seconds on the clock. We are looking like we are going to a blitz playoff. I told you this was a ridiculous match. Sindarov has to go here. Now the pieces trade, c1, and it is simply Hikaru who is up a knight. Now, Sindarov has 2 pawns. The game is not over. Rook d6 check is a very tricky little move. King goes to f8. Rook c6. a4. Hikaru grabs a pawn. Now, Sindarov only has 1 pawn for a knight. However, he does have activity. Hikaru puts his knight in the center. Bishop to d4. The only chance that Sindarov has is Hikaru blundering some sort of pawn advancement. Like, if he loses the pawn on a7 or something like that, then maybe, he will get tricked. And he makes a mistake. Rook b8 was apparently wrong. He apparently needed to either bring his bishop or start bringing his king. He goes here. Sindarov plays takes, a6. Now it's very tricky. Now it's not easy at all. Because moves like, rook a5, there's traps all over the place. There's like checks, and then there's checks, and then there's things like a7. I mean, you got to be really, really, really careful with the way you do this. There's also moves like e4, and there's no easy, space to put the knight. He plays rook a5, and now we have bishop d4, setting up this checkmate threat. Hikaru plays e5, and the crazy thing about the move e5, there is king e8, king d7. e5 is apparently just a mistake because there's check here, a7. Javahir not only saves this game in the time trouble, he's winning. He's winning the game. Hikaru goes down to 2 seconds on the clock, makes a move, and he's just losing because it's rook c8, it's a8, and it's over. Now here's something strange is happening. The relay was showing originally, oh, I refreshed it. Originally it was showing a draw, but yeah, Hikaru resigned. He played e4 and resigned because rook c8, you promote, and just a few moves ago, he was just straight up a knight. And then Sindarov, walks in with this counterattack, and you had to be really, really careful. It was actually much more dangerous than it looked. Do you ever hear Sindarov save 3 borderline losing positions in this match? Usually Hikaru is doing this in reverse. He would do this to Sindarov, but in a crazy turn of events, he is knocked out, and Sindarov is one of the other semifinalists. Just absolutely wild stuff. And I've got more games for you from the knockouts. This is Fabiano Caruana versus Gukesh. This one started very similar, but with a very key difference. d4 was played much faster in this game, and you may remember that Sindarov in their classical game against Hikaru went queen e5. It is actually Gukesh in this game playing f5 and gambiting a pawn for a pawn like this, but clearly misunderstanding the dynamics of the opening, and actually, as early as move 10, a pawn down. Just basically a clean pawn down. Now instead of the move g6, he could have played takes here, and then in this position, black would have had to make a move, and he could have played a6, for example, but the way that Gukesh did it in the game is that he went for this, and Fabiano was just the pawn up. He was just the pawn up, and maybe black was able to get counterplay with slightly more accurate play, but the whole recap of this game is going to literally take me 2 minutes. Because on the 18th move, Gukesh resigned. Like, before the game even managed to get anywhere. But the crazy thing is, that was it. He just misplayed in the early stages of the game, and the game was over before he could ever get settled. Already he's down a pawn, he's worse structurally. White obviously has an attack incoming, and on top of all of that, Gukesh doesn't have to save this game, he has to win. So he just resigns. It's kind of nuts. Like, this move g6 ultimately led to White having this little tactic, and Gukesh is just down a pawn, which is kind of crazy. I guess f5 ultimately was a mistake. Maybe he did need to go for queen e5. At first the computer actually quite likes f5, but maybe it was Sindarov's choice queen e5, which ultimately was the right decision, but okay. We will never know. And a shocking second game. Fabiano Caruana 2-0, and Gukesh eliminated as well, along with Nojibek and along with Hikaru. They probably will play for some other places. For the matchup of the 9th place game, I'm going to go through this one quite fast. Fedosеев had to win this game. This game was bananas. These, by the way, queen e5. Same thing, just like in the Sindarov game. Very similar. Queen a5. This one was knight b3, and this one was wild as Levon sacrificed his bishop. Levon sacrificed his bishop to put on an absolutely dazzling, I mean, this is the Levon that we want to see. Tripled b-pawns, trying to defend the white king. D takes e4, rook takes d1, and Levon just has all of his pieces playing versus a wall of tripled b-pawns and a first row. This is ridiculous stuff out here. And remember, Levon doesn't even have to win this game. And he ultimately roars in here with the pawn, the knight, the bishop, all of his pieces. This is, I mean, what is even happening? This doesn't even look real. You've got e2, you have rook d3, knight d3, knight e2, knight d2. Every single piece can go to every single square. Fedosеев now is actually losing here. And Levon here has to play rook into d3 and take this pawn. Ultimately, he settles for knight c4 back because, again, he's okay with a draw. And Fedosеев doesn't repeat the position because a draw is not good for him. So queen takes a4, queen a2 check, and when it's all said and done, Levon ends up getting the bishop back and simply up a pawn. So rook e1, rook e8, and Fedosеев knows that, you know, a draw is not good enough, but he will settle for a draw. Levon trades down, and this is a drawn king and pawn endgame, and Levon does take the 9th place. But I mean, that was, you talk about a position that doesn't even look real. I mean, yeah, take me through this position, huh? Look at this. First row of pieces for white. Tripled b-pawns, and black is down a bishop. Nuts. You got to give credit where it's due. And now here, this is the matchup, the final matchup of the day. Vincent Keimer won yesterday in the first game, and he had to now be defeated. You know, Firouzja had to beat him, and from the opening, it was a big miss, because, you know, Keimer didn't play for, he didn't go for a d4. He kind of played it a little bit slowly, and Firouzja tried to provoke him. He tried to get him to play a3 and maybe take, or maybe even go back and create a weakness, but Keimer here misses that Firouzja can just start going for knight a4 and b5. And all of a sudden, White's position is quite dangerous. And let me tell you something right now, Firouzja is a very creative player, and he flies his king across the board and just has a monster attack building up. Right, bishop to e2, c5 and c4, and this is Firouzja right here. Firouzja unleashed. I mean, you got to put him away with the white pieces, and it's not going particularly well. He has an absolutely monstrous attack building. Absolutely monstrous. Rook F, you know, knight d2. Now he has to play maybe rook f c8. He's got knight b4, knight b2 sacrifices, and ultimately b4, knight b1 is a miss from Vincent. And here Firouzja has to find the right continuation. The right continuation here was the very obscure d6, stabilizing the center before committing anything else with queen a3. But he runs in with queen a3, and the king goes running. Firouzja thought, well, this is easy. I just keep the, you know, this open. But the king runs away. The king abandons where he was castled, runs back to e1, and suddenly, not only is Vincent Keimer not any worse, Vincent Keimer might be better. Firouzja is not going to be able to win this game. He had a lot of pressure. He needed to be slightly more accurate in the attack. He ends up burning all the bridges and going all in, but he has to win, and it's just not good enough. And Vincent, very classy here. He knows that a draw is good. So what does he do? He just repeats the position, makes a draw, and he knocks out Alireza Firouzja. Vincent showing tremendous defensive prowess, tremendous nerves as well, and a crazy day here in the knockout portion. We can take a look at the results. It is now Vincent Keimer versus Magnus Carlsen, and Fabiano Caruana playing Javahir Sandarov, which is pretty epic stuff. This is the knockout stage. There is a playoff for 5th to 8th place. I guess it has not populated into the standings, but obviously 5th to 8th place will be Alireza. You talk about a monster group of 4: Nodirbek Abdusattorov, Gukesh, Hikaru, and Firouzja. Crazy. Firouzja, by the way, picked Vincent Keimer and then was knocked out by him. Javahir Sandarov getting it done versus Hikaru, Magnus, and Nodirbek. They were just paired against each other, and Fabiano, very convincing win. So that's your those are your scores, those are your matchups, and we will play some more tomorrow. For now, though, you know what the drill is. Check out Chesley if you'd like to gain some elo. Check out some of my courses, and tickets for the Europe tour are going. See you tomorrow for the semifinals, 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be live here on the broadcast, and get out of here.
عندك صداع قوي؟ جرب بنادول اكسترا لراحة سريعة وفعالة من الألم القوي.
Ladies and gentlemen, the holiday season came early in 2024, as arguably one of the best chess games of the year was just played. And it just so happens, it's not between two people you've never heard of. It's between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. This game was played at the Global Chess League, and dear Lord, I mean, these two playing each other is Barcelona, Real Madrid. All right, like it is the El Clásico of the last 3 to 4 years of chess. I mean, it is some of the best action that we get, and it was an incredible game. Spectacular theater. What's that meme? Absolute cinema. That's what it was, okay? Friendly reminder, at the Global Chess League, they play 20-minute with 0-second bonus time. So you literally could beat the person in ridiculous time scrambles. It puts a lot of pressure. I mean, it's an absurd time control that has led to multiple controversies, but it puts a level of pressure on the players. And once again, for like 10-15 seconds, I will remind you of all the things that are coming later this month. Updated date on the top one. Link coming soon for the Gotham chessboard. I got a lot of comments like, Gotham, can I get this in India? Gotham, can I get this in Europe? We'll work on it, all right? I have no idea how that stuff works with licensing, distributing, but Americans, rejoice, all right? Rejoice, because you're going to get 15,000 of those on shelves. Got the chess deck back there. That thing drops soon. The website for Pia Cramling versus Gotham Chess has come out. So soon tickets will be out for the fan event as well. It's a lot of stuff coming this year. Chess League 2.0 being worked on and much more. European tour in 2025? Yeah. Germany, gonna be in London, gonna be in Paris, gonna be in Brussels. That's not even on the list. Yeah, so Europeans, I'll be seeing you very soon. All right. Magnus opened with e4. Hikaru played the Sicilian defense. For some reason, I'm getting some... Okay, there we go. Sicilian defense. The most combative. All right, the most combative thing that you can play against e4. Magnus plays knight f3. Hikaru plays g6. That is already a big decision. He's not playing d6, the main line with Najdorf Sicilian. He's not playing knight c6. He's not playing e6. Hikaru recently has been playing a lot of this accelerated dragon. It's one of the easiest openings. It's one of the easiest Sicilians, I should say, to learn if you're going to play it. Magnus now for a second time in the Pro Chess League plays into, I called it the Pro Chess League, Global Chess League. Pro Chess League is something that existed for many, many years. And we have this Maroczy bind. Now what's funny is here, after knight c6, bishop e3, Hikaru plays what Magnus played against Alireza. You don't have to remember that, but queen b6. And in that game, Alireza went backwards. Magnus goes forward, plays knight to b5, blocking the queen from hitting b2, threatening the queen, but also bishop b2 is slightly problematic. Hikaru plays queen a5 check. Already, like, again, it has the makings of a very dynamic and complicated game. That knight now drops back to c3, and black plays another queen move. Folks, I'm just going to tell you right now, you better not play chess like this. 3 out of his first 8 moves for a whopping 37.5% from yours truly, the mathematician, PhD genius, and also very humble, myself. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to lose your queen. All right, let these big boys do it. Magnus plays queen c1. That move is fine. I think queen c2 or queen d2 is slightly preferred by the computer, but queen c1, obviously nothing wrong with it. Now we're going to get a little bit of normalcy. Hikaru plays d6. Magnus blocks the diagonal and plays knight d2. Hikaru plays bishop e6, bishop e2, and now Hikaru is going to play knight f6 and castle, and Magnus is going to castle. No. No. Bishop d4. What? The funniest part is, this is the best move, which is so absurd. The fact that, you know, black has this bishop hidden behind the pawns and it's supposed to be the protector of the dark squares. No, he actually has to act now. Because the thing is, if Hikaru lazily plays knight f6, Magnus castles. Hikaru castles. White actually gets a very quick pawn attack going. And black doesn't have a lot of easy play. You play knight g4 here, I take. And Hikaru must have been familiar with some of the analysis here to come up with this. And he plays bishop d4. Bishop takes. By the way, can we talk about the fact that bishop d4 confused Magnus to such an extent that he spent 5 out of his 16 minutes, basically? Or roughly like 32 to 34%? I mean, he doesn't have bonus time. Like, this is all he's got. That's all he's got, right? So bishop takes d4, knight takes d4. He now moves the bishop out of the way, and he's ready to castle, which he does. But now Hikaru's fine. And obviously now, Hikaru is going to castle his king and play a normal game. No, he plays knight g4 to put the knight on e5 and also hit these 2 pawns in the meantime. The position is super weird. Magnus kicks out the knight, says, I don't understand what you're doing, Hikaru. Why would you put your knight on e5? Because the thing is, the knight on e5 is just going to be a target for any future attack. The knight probably should have stayed on f6. The bishop goes back to f1. Hikaru from the opening is up 4.5 minutes. This is a dominant spot to be in with black. And yet, instead of knight g4, he probably should have just castled. He obviously didn't like the prospect of anything, I mean, not right away, but just in general. That's why he went for this knight g4. But it's not the best plan, apparently. And even though black castles, I think Hikaru might have realized here, I don't think I should have put my knight on e5, which is why he spent 3 minutes castling And that definitely gave an indication to Magnus. I don't think he likes his position as much as he should. Right, because here, if I ask you what's the most natural move, you probably castle. Maybe Hikaru thought he could take on c4. Maybe. Like, if you just trade everything, black is just up a pawn. But that's not what he would do. What he would do is, in this position, he would play knight d5, winning the game on the spot. You attack the queen, the bishop is hanging, so you have to make a queen move. If you play queen b5, that rook is hanging. You lose. So that was the idea. Castles. Now, both boys got 10 minutes. All right, one of them is 9, but whatever. He has Magnus bonus, so it feels like he has 10 minutes on the clock. And now they have to play this position. Keep in mind, they have no bonus. Like, this is it. The game will end, and somebody will either lose on time or there will be a result. Now the game gets unbelievably complicated. It's already very complex. Like, it's a Sicilian, there's an imbalance. Black has a slightly weaker king, but black has good piece presence. But actually, structurally, it is white who has an advantage because the queen is in a very bad spot, and the queen can be used as a bit of a piñata. Magnus plays a3, the queen goes back, and now he plays knight to d5 with a very simple idea. That if you try to retreat again, now I come forward it's just like f4. Like every move pushes you backwards, and all of us like, how did we get here? The queen was evicted from b4 to d8. Both knights got kicked out, and white is just crushing. So that's the issue, which is why Hikaru plays bishop d5, ed5, and tries to fight back with this move e6. Magnus has 8 minutes and 43 seconds to figure out the nuances, to figure out the complexities. Also, e6, don't forget, there's no dark squares anymore, right? There's no defense. So knight e4, hitting this, going to f6, potentially. Hikaru keeps getting wild here. He plays f5. That defends against knight f6, but all his pawns are so far forward, the king is probably weak. And Magnus here uncorks a beauty. Just an absolute kisser. Straight through the guard. Boop, right in the mouth. c5. That is not what you were expecting. We now get dc5. Now, obviously, as you see from Hikaru, he spent 3 minutes because he was preparing himself for this move. That's why he spent 1 second. The move c5 did not shock him, but he wanted to work out all of the details, right? Magnus played this move pretty quickly because he obviously was calculating it while Hikaru was calculating it. So you got two of the best in the world, number 1, number 2 in the world in ranking, calculating the lines. Magnus goes c5. That is straight up a clean pawn sacrifice. Now, why is it not as clean as you would expect? Because it weakens the knight on g5, and when you play knight on e5, and when you play knight g5, you threaten the knight, and the pawn behind it begins to hang. Hikaru is under substantial pressure here. He centralizes the queen to play defense. This is what he saw, but here comes queen e3. So both guys have 6 minutes to figure out the rest of this really complicated game. The most direct threat right now is this attack on the knight. And yet, however, knight c2 is a fork, but probably you just get to e5, and then you probably take some more stuff. So knight goes back to f7 attacking, and Magnus arrives on the e6 square. He now has a pawn back in his possession. Hikaru, rook e8, pins the knight to the queen. Magnus puts the bishop on c4. I gotta tell you, if I had this position against almost any player around my level in the world, I would be confident I would win. Why? Because this knight is so strong. You go knight c2 in this position, queen c3 is a fork. That's it, you just lose. Black does not have any easy moves here. Yeah, and Hikaru finding the best. So keep this in mind. You got the top 2 by classical rating, probably the top 2 in blitz chess as well. I know Ali Reza got 2nd place in 2024 Speed Chess Championship, but anyway, they're also 2 of the best defensive players in the world. Hikaru arguably the best, and he plays the best move, knight to d8. Targeting the knight like this. Magnus, rook a d1, centralizing his rook. Hikaru gets rid of that knight, but now the pawn is there, and this, I mean, this is scary stuff. Scary stuff, but Hikaru stops the pawn from moving. 4.5 minutes. But he is down 20% of Magnus's time. This is really, really crazy stuff, and Magnus finds the best move to turn the screw. b4, trying to remove the defense of the knight in the center of the board. Hikaru's next move, very easy, b6. Now what? How's Magnus going to advance here? He trades. He trades to isolate that pawn. Now that pawn is just there. h4. Spends 2 seconds. He's like, I want to go h5. This is basically what he wants. He wants to open up the black king. So h4. Hikaru here spending some time, finds the best move, counter-attacking with his f-pawn, making the queen go somewhere. Magnus maintains central position. Queen e4. His position looks fantastic. Aesthetically, it's very, very nice. He's not up a pawn, but it really feels like he is. Hikaru king g7. Why? Because you might as well put as many things as possible on the dark square. Like, the majority of black's pieces right now, and if the rook goes to a fade, all will stand on dark squares, which means this bishop can't really do anything, and the dark squares are very, very strong. The knight on d4 is very strong, but still white is better. But white is better if this was a classical chess game. In this type of format, I'm not so sure. Rook b1 is a nice move, though. Moving the rook off the center line with the simple intention to play rook b7, removing the blockade. Again, the idea is this. If you get through, you simply win. Look, rook c7, e7 is pretty nasty. You make a knight, you get the queen. You win the game. So rook b1. Hikaru now has to think he plays knight to f5. He has 3 minutes and 47 seconds to figure out this position, and we haven't even reached the climax here. I mean, we're getting there, all right? Rook d1. He puts the knight back. Hikaru's fine with a draw. He doesn't care if the position repeats 3 times. Magnus isn't. h5. Look at that. Now, the move that Hikaru plays here is so absurd. I mean, h5, again, simple point. If you open up the king, it's just risky. I might have rook d3. I might have rook b3. Getting over here, you can't take me because, you'd be pinning yourself. h5. Hikaru here plays the best move. The best move in this position. Do you know what the best move in this position is? It's to courageously walk your king to f6. King f6. Getting closer to the pawn, kind of threatening to take it. And also, sometimes you may trade queens. King to f6 is a gangster move, which is why Magnus goes back to the e-file, doesn't let the queen get closer. And now Hikaru plays rook e8, lining up every single piece that he has against the pawn on e6. Magnus brings the other rook back to the center of the board, not allowing the rook to move. And I can't believe the move that Hikaru plays here. I mean, king f6 is crazy. The next move is even crazier. In this position, with all this pressure, you can't take this pawn because you're going to lose material. He calls Magnus's bluff, and he takes the pawn on h5. His king is now completely open. He has 4 pawn islands and doubled h-pawns. And yet, this is defended. And g takes h5 happens, and suddenly, my favorite thing to say, who is attacking who? Who's attacking who? Magnus plays rook d3, spending 40 seconds. Hikaru rook g8, 327, 246, no bonus time. We're going down to 0. Rook h3. Now this looks really nice. I'm going to take on h5. I'm going to take on h7. I still can't quite get to your king. You're kind of covering everything. Hikaru spent some time here. He was obviously looking at f3. By the way, you can actually play king g5 in this position. This is how absurd this is. You can play king to g5. But Hikaru plays the best move, rook g5, defending things. Now Magnus plays rook h4. The threat is rook takes f4. Or queen takes f4. Rook takes f4 is better. Now if I ask you, what is the most natural move in this position? A lot of you would tell me rook f5. And I would not be able to tell you why Hikaru in this position chose not to play rook f5. Rook f5, to me, makes plenty of sense. It defends everything. Maybe there was queen a8 with nasty intentions. And also there are moves like queen d3. And it's just hard to make a move with black. As the queen comes in and maybe h5 is hanging, Hikaru says, you know what? I got 2.5 minutes. He's got 3. Magnus, let's finish this how we started this together. f3, a counter-attacking move. We see the evaluation bar jump up there. But the point is very simple. If g3, he's going to sacrifice the rook. He's going to sacrifice the rook and get his queen in. And this is queen g2 mate. This is unbelievable. f3 has been played with 1 minute and 42 seconds. He spent, that was not an efficient time use. 50 seconds spent, plays f3. It's not even the best move. Now rook to f4 check is the best move. The king goes back to g7. And Magnus, well, wasn't the idea to sacrifice here, right? But now you can't do that anymore. So g3, Magnus is winning. Magnus is winning, but Hikaru is not done. He saw h4. This is a threat. You cannot take with the pawn, and if you take with the rook, I will sacrifice my rook on g3 with that same exact attack. Now, obviously, in the game, there is no evaluation bar. I like to have the evaluation bar so some of you know the evaluation. A lot of you watching this are newer to chess, or you're not newer, but you are beginners. But imagine you were playing this position. There's no eval bar. And somebody plays h4 against you. All you know is that if rook h4, rook g3, if you don't take, there's this. So why is this position +4? Magnus doesn't know it's +4. Hikaru doesn't know it's +4. And you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds. It's +4 if and only if you find the move. It's not even clear why this is the best move. Bishop d3. Yes, of course, we all understand the h7 pawn is under attack. What happens if the king goes to h8? Well, if the king goes to h8, white is fast on the 8th rank. So Hikaru stumbles. He calculated h4. He probably looked at rook g4, rook h4 lines, but bishop d3, rook g6, you cannot do this anymore because now rook h7 and all of this is simply too powerful. Magnus here is winning, but he misses it. He misses bishop d3. He spends, a little bit of time calculating rook h4. He believes Hikaru's bluff, which wasn't a bluff. I don't think Hikaru saw the power of bishop d3. Hikaru plays rook takes g3. Now we have king h1. The rook has not been taken. Now it can be taken, though. Now it can be taken, and rook h7 is still a threat, so Hikaru has to dart out of the position. 2 minutes and a half versus 1 minute and a half. Still absolutely zero resolution. Both kings are weak. I would argue white's king at this point is actually weaker, right? We have to defend against this. So what does Magnus do here? How does he play? Well, he brings his rook from the e file to the g file. He's trying to trade the rook to get rid of the blockade of the position. And I'm also going to turn this off now. There's another threat of rook g1. It's not to take on g6. It's to sacrifice on h7, removing the defense of the g6 rook completely. And this is mate. So rook g1 is a really nasty move. And in this position, the position is equal. But only if Hikaru finds one move. Otherwise, rook h7, and this is game over. With black, you can go here, but then you have no way to stop this. You play king f8, I play rook f4, queen a8, you're going to lose. So Hikaru, with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. In this position, sacrifices. The rook! Rook takes e6! The best move! The only move! Rook takes e6. I'm going to put a brilliant sticker on it. Rook takes e6. A spectacular defensive counter shot. He defends his own rook. And the point is, it's actually really bad if you take it with the bishop because you lose the defense of e2. And now rook g1, king g1, and knight e2 is a crusher. You can't get off the back rank. Anywhere you go here, the queen slides in, and it's mate. It's mate in a couple of moves. Queen d1, queen g3, queen g1, and queen g2. And you simply lose the game. So rook takes e6, a spectacular move. The bishop has to protect. How Hikaru saw this, he played this move with 1 minute remaining on the clock. And here's the craziest part about the position. It's still not over. Rook takes g6, played by Magnus. He doesn't blunder. Rook g6, queen b7. White's king without a move. Black's king without a move. King to f6. And in this position, what do you play? This king is about to go for a jog. I'm not even exaggerating. Queen f7 is played. And that's not a good move. Hikaru is now winning. King to g5, can you believe it? The king has gone for a complete turnaround here. King g5. Queen takes h7. And Hikaru here with 40 seconds on the clock can play a devastating move which absolutely kills the game. And that move, whether he saw it or not, is rook h6. Forcing all the pieces off the board. If queen g7 is played, you take the rook. Maybe he missed that. Maybe that was what was missed. Rook h6 is a full trade, after which you play knight f5. Maybe he missed knight f5. Or maybe, I don't know. I think knight e2 is also good, but never mind. You have to play knight f5, apparently. Knight f5, bishop here, king g... Okay, well, this is... It's hard to see that, but the only winning... And apparently this is a winning endgame because you're just up and you're too active and you're going to promote. So, and white is going to have to lose the bishop. So queen h7, the only winning move is rook h6. Instead, Hikaru plays knight to f5. Now it's a draw. The rook is hanging. Queen d1 is a threat, though. Rook h5 played. King f4! What? The king is on f4! Bishop f1, Magnus playing defense. The position is hanging on a knife's edge because of mutually assured destruction. Basically, black cannot play a move like queen d1. Actually, probably can, because after queen g6, it's a draw. So both players here hang on a knife's edge, and the position is just... like, they're both stuck. There's nothing they can do, you know? And we get... in the game, rook g5 with 30 seconds on the clock. Rook g5, king g5. Magnus is now up a minute. Let's keep in mind there's no bonus time. He darts over here. Hikaru's centralizing the queen. And in this position, under the threat of mutually assured destruction, king g1 was played. And with 28 seconds on his clock, Hikaru shuffled back and forth, and the players breathed a sigh of relief and a draw. That was chaos. Absolute cinema. A black king walking forward with his troops. King g5 possible, right? Defending himself, rook g5, then launching a counterattack. Sacrificing his rook with rook g3. Just insane stuff. Magnus had to find bishop d3. He missed it. And then rook g1, counter-sacrifice. Another rook sacrifice on e6. Hikaru was sacrificing both rooks. And Magnus had to be super careful. And then the black king after that walked out to g5, and he was winning, but it was really weird. I'm not really sure this qualifies as a win with 40 seconds on the clock. And because both players are so close to getting mated here, the best that can happen is they protect their kings, they don't attack, and the game ends in a draw. Look, we can't always get a winner and a loser, but I feel like if we're going to get draws between Magnus and Hikaru, that's the type of draw that we want. That was a crazy high-level Sicilian battle. I wanted to share it with all of you. And hopefully we get another one, because I think in the Global Chess League, they play each other twice. So I'll catch you for that one. All the links to all the stuff I've been talking about in my introduction is in the description when they come out. Tickets and the board and everything. So stay tuned. Appreciate your support. And get out of here.
مع جيني التوفير أسهل. جيني توفير بدون تعقيد.
Ladies and gentlemen, few things in this world are truly perfect. The only exception might be me staring at the camera at the beginning of every video. But today I will show you a perfect chess game. It's not sarcasm. It's not one of my low elo games. This was a game played yesterday between Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura and Sam Sevian at the American Cup in St. Louis. Hikaru played a perfect game of chess. And I will be sharing it with you because it's actually fascinating how all of us have our battles at whatever elo we are. You might be 800, 1600, 200, 2500. And I battle all the same kinds of things, just against a slightly different elo. And Hikaru just made it look so easy. He just made it look so incredibly easy. And I had to share it with all of you. This was a 90-minute game of chess. This was not Hikaru playing Title Tuesday or Bullet. This was a 90-minute game of chess. And I would like to show it to you. So let's watch. Give me about 15, 20 minutes of your time and witness perfection. He did not make a single mistake. He did not make a single inaccuracy. Let's jump in. Hikaru started the game with the move e4. Sevian responded e5. Now, already I would just like to say something. At this level of chess, 2700, if you are playing a knockout format or you are playing any sort of event where a must-win situation with black does not exist, there's like a 70% chance they're going to play e5 because it's keeping symmetry is considered meta. Hikaru plays knight f3, knight c6, and he plays the Ruy Lopez, aka the Spanish. There is a lot of territory that they can trek over to now. Sevian might play a Berlin, or he will play the main line, or he will play a sideline. He plays a6. This is called Morphy's defense, but that's only information that you have to know if you want to win your local trivia night, if for some reason there is a chess question. Now, bishop back to a4, knight f6, and now Hikaru takes the first step, the first gander off the beaten path, and rather than playing the main line castles, which could lead to an open Spanish with the move knight takes e4, and then white might play d4, and then black likes to play b5, d5. This is something that I think Sevian has played quite a bit of. Rather than entering into any of that or any of the other clotheslines, Hikaru plays d3. Now, this is already a pretty big committal decision, because normally in the Spanish, white wants to go c3 and then play d4 in one go. White will play c3, h3, and then d4. So the move d3, it's not like, again, this is how you know how nerdy chess players are. If you move a pawn one square instead of two squares, chess players all go, wow, that's fast. Hey, come look at this. He played d3. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Right, and then that's essentially what chess is like at the meta level. And now Sam has a decision to make. He can play b5, kicking the bishop back, and then developing more naturally with the bishop to c5, or he can block in his bishop with the move d6, and he chooses that. So Hikaru has chosen the second most popular option. Sevian has chosen the second most popular option. And now the players are still in a territory where there are thousands of games, but Hikaru officially takes us into very, very unfamiliar waters. And he plays a move that generally never happens in the Spanish. I think the players of the past would have vomited and peed themselves if this move, at the same time, by the way, if this move had been played. Hikaru plays the move c4. This is, again, like, this is when 2750 ELO chess might resemble 750 ELO chess. What? The entire meta of the Spanish, as I thought we knew it, was to play c3 and then d4, right? And then bring the bishop back. So now we're letting a guy go d3, fine, but you're still gonna go here and then do this, right? Or maybe you're gonna play here. c4, well, let me explain it to you, okay? So it's a very rare move. And the idea is as follows. Number one, b5 is never a thing now. So this bishop will keep pressuring the knight, which therefore destabilizes the center. What is the drawback of this move? d4 is weak. Okay, so you are now, like, if you can still play d4 at some point in the future, probably your opening is a success. You clamp down on some of these squares, but you severely potentially weaken the d4 square. But overall, I mean, it's just a decision. I mean, it's just a very unique way to play. Now, Magnus has played the move c4. A lot of grandmasters have played the move c4, but it's not the most popular option. And black normally will play g6. This is considered the main way to play here. White might play h3, preventing black from developing the bishop. Bishop g7, knight c3, black might castle, white might play knight d5, trying to take advantage of that square. That is essentially what happens here. The move g6. The main line, I believe, is even putting the knight directly in the center. This has been played the most amount of times. Black will go here, etc. Sam now plays, so what have we got? We got the second most popular move in that position. We got the second most popular move in that position. We have the third most popular move in that position. We have the third most popular move in that position. So we're deep in the woods now, right? Now, here's a fun fact about this position, and I have no idea if this was what Hikaru was inspired by. A person by the name of Niklas Huschenbeth played this way with white in 2017. Huschenbeth was on Hikaru's team when Hikaru played the Candidates Tournament, the most important tournament of his recent adult life, in 2022. So a grandmaster who's on the team of Hikaru helping him prepare has played this opening in the past. Could Hikaru have been inspired by Nicholas's annotations and his files? Maybe. And that's the beautiful thing about chess. It's not like basketball. You don't have all the players on of the team on the court at the same time. It's not like Huschenbeth is sitting right here like, yo, play that move. It's that it's all the analysis you do. It's all the prep work that you do before you go sit down. These guys know so much about chess. These guys know more about chess than if I lived 3 lifetimes, I might not learn as much as they've already forgotten or not even used. So the move bishop g4 is extremely committal. And it's committal because white's gonna go here and black really shouldn't go back. You know why? Because at some point, white will do something like this. And black's bishop is actually just dead. Like, it will never participate in the game because white's center is so solid and black doesn't have the mechanics in place to make this move happen. So, you have to take. Now, what has happened in that trade? Okay? Bishop for knight exchange occurs. That d4 square is now completely weak. If black could get a knight there, black would be super, super happy. However, black cannot get a knight there because black is pinned. So, rather than develop in castle, black goes knight d7. Blocking this and setting up the move knight d4. Now Hikaru plays bishop e3. You will notice Hikaru has not spent any time. That is because he is still in his preparation. Bishop e7 played, Hikaru plays knight c3. Notice Sam is down 15 minutes. This is not his preparation. And you may ask yourself, why did Sam not play the move knight to d4? I have a feeling it has to do with the transformation. So, something like this, and this knight is gonna be better than that bishop. It can go here, maybe the queen will drop back and white will get more center space. This is all probably something Hikaru has had in his notes. So Sam went here, and then in this position, Sam played the move knight f8. This has occurred in one game ever. And the idea of knight f8 is to go here and here. That is the point. Now, in this position, Hikaru plays knight e2. You will notice Hikaru spent 8 minutes on that move, which is either a really genius bluff, pretending like he's on his own, or he actually had to think about the position. And knight e2 simply fights back against the move knight d4. But you know what else it does? It enables the move d4. I said a while ago that if white is able to pull off the move d4, it's going to be the greatest heist in history because he gets to play 2 light squared pawn moves, create a gaping hole on d4, and still get rid of it. And he's able to get rid of it because of the mechanics of the position. Again, if you waited even one move, castle, castle, and then you didn't take the knight, you went like here. Oh, black is chilling. Big chilling, by the way. Like, he is... But knight d4 in life is good, okay? Just knight d4, he's vibing. So, d4, take, 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 black castles, and now you would think bishop pair is good, right? Don't trade the bishop for a knight unless you have a good reason. The good reason is that if you go here, the knight will now move and that bishop has nothing, so he takes. Now we have this. Queen, rooks, bishop, 7 pawns. Who is better and why? White is better. Why? White has a better pawn structure and a little bit more space and active pieces. And that's it. That is all you need at this level. That's why it's 0.6, 0.7 advantage. White has a bit more space, a bit more activity, and long-term targets. White's structure is just bulletproof. Now, this move is the only move of the game where Stockfish kind of complained. It was a microscopic, and I think if you let it run to like depth 35, it's gonna think that both these moves were good. Hikaru in this position, rather than castling short and allowing black to play c5, that's the key move. If black can play c5 and not allow white's pawns ever to go forward, he's gonna equalize. So Hikaru needs to stop c5. He has 2 ways of doing that. He can put a rook on d1 so that c5 can be met with bishop takes. And he can also castle long. To a human, castling long is not the most natural of moves. The computer thinks it's microscopically better than playing rook d1. Hikaru kept his options open and castled short side. All right, he only spent 3 minutes on this move because long castles is just a bit ridiculous. Now the move c5 is not possible because bishop takes. And if the queen tries to sidestep, queen g3, I might mate you, I might force you to do this, which is, the bishop just looks like a lava lamp on e7. I mean, it's not doing anything. Well, it's shining, but that's, it's immobile. So rook e8 played, and Hikaru castles. And in this position, Sevian is going to live a very, very boring life because he bought a house 25% below market value on the outskirts of town, and he doesn't have a car, and the closest thing in walking distance is 40 minutes. Welcome to certain corners of New York. He can't do anything in this position. Like, if he goes here, that's not even a threat. Like, Hikaru will play b3, rook e1, and just start marching forward. And at some point when he marches forward, c6 will be weak. So Sevian in this position is forced to play this kind of ugly move, bishop f6. The point of bishop f6 is that Sam doesn't mind damaging to his structure because probably he will be able to draw the rook endgame. But Hikaru knew that he was on course to play a perfect game of chess and make it into a Gotham video. And his own. Gonna recap it, right? So the second that the bishop removed the layer of defense from c5, Hikaru went here. Once again, the perfect move. That move does not rush into exchange, and I told you a long time ago, white has targets. d6 is a target, the queen is a target, and by leaving that pawn fixated on the c6 square, that is a weakness, and so is all of this. Sevian now plays rook e6. He's still defending to the best of his ability. Now the best move is to take. How is that possible? How is the best move to take and allow your queen to get hit? A lot of people wouldn't do that because queen c3. And you build behind your pawn. And you build behind this and that and that and that. So if black plays h6 in this position, e5 smashes through. Rook e6, cd, cd, queen c6, and I'm in there like swimwear, all right? Like we're taking everything. So rook e6 takes, queen f6, and now queen f6, correctly exchanging. Even though your queen was the one that was supposed to do the damage, why did Hikaru trade? Because if the rook takes its eye off the e-pawn, the rest of the game is super simple. Hikaru's gonna play f3, then he's gonna bring his king, then he's gonna bring his rooks, and this structure is losing. What? This is chess at the 2770 ELO level. The structure of your pawns, which was determined by the opening that you had memorized, indicates whether or not your chances of survival exist. What? So Sevian was like, well, I can take with the rook or the g-pawn. He makes it an inaccuracy, takes with the g-pawn. He does that so maybe he can do this and allow the rook to get in. Maybe rook e5 and f5. Hikaru plays f3. Sam attacks his pawn. Hikaru defends his pawn. And now is ready to double up. Do you notice how there is a tripled pawn possibility here? Yeah. Rook c2. And Hikaru's knocking on the door. I am the one who knocks. C takes d6. Knocks. N-A-K-S, by the way. I am the one who knocks. Oh, that's genius. I'm stealing that. C, D, rook c6, as well as pawn to b3. Sevian's got no pawn mobility. He just can't move anything. So he does this. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the ugliest pawn structure of all time. I am not one to judge. I don't care how humans look, okay? I'm not the handsomest guy myself. I do care how a pawn structure looks, and I 100% will judge you, okay? Like those gossip magazines. We have tripled isolated pawns, 2 loners, and doubled What even is that? What even is that? What? And the rest of the game, all I will say is, in the rest of this game, Hikaru imitates Pac-Man. Rook d7. Takes the pawn. Sam tries to create counterplay. Hikaru brings his king. Everything is defended. Counterplay is literally impossible, as Sam's rooks have to stand there and just guard everything. Hikaru brings the king. Sam brings the king. Hikaru plays rook a7. Sam gives a check. Hikaru walks out to f4. Sam defends everything. What's gonna happen is, Hikaru's not gonna rush to take anything. He's going to take away all of Sam's resources in the position, and then he will make his move. He's going to take maximum value away from Sam, who is completely unable to defend himself. Rook a8 cuts the back rank. Sam plays h6. Another pawn bites the dust. And now, what is the domino that is going to start the entire collapse of the black position? There it is. Black's position is hopeless. He cannot move a single pawn. He tries. He goes here. A5. Now the rook has to make a decision which way it goes. It sidesteps rook b8. And that, I mean, you are just out of time, to quote The Weeknd. King h7. Now the king comes back. King comes back. g4, taking away